चारों टाइगर एक साथ बैठे हुए हैं।
हरियाणा तीसरी बार भाजपा को मौका देने का मन पक्का कर चुका है।
मोदी जी का आपने चेहरा देखा आजकल?
Kumari Selja saying that if there was no infighting, the results in Haryana also would have been much, much better.
About like CMship, Congress is going to form the government with thumping majority, and then we have a due set norm.
ये नया कश्मीर है। पहली बार दहशतगर्दी के साए के बिना ये वोटिंग हुई।
जब हम स्टेट को यूनियन टेरिटरी बनाते हैं तो अधिकारों को छीना जाता है।
This is going to be a completely hung assembly, a fractured mandate where eventually a coalition is going to be cobbled up.
एक तरफ 3 खानदान है और दूसरी तरफ जम्मू कश्मीर के मेरे नौजवान बेटे बेटियां हैं।
बोल रहे जो 370 उसको दफन किया गया है कि वो
ये तो हर चीज को दफन कर रहे हैं। कभी एक दिन आएगा ये भी दफन हो जाएंगे।
Viewers, Haryana and J&K Assembly election exit polls are out. In a big blow to the ruling BJP, Haryana exit polls are predicting a Congress victory. But suspense looms large over what's going to happen in the union territory of J&K. Hello and welcome, I'm Abhishek Singh and you're watching the Hindustan Times, your election headquarters. With polling in Haryana and J&K over, face of the candidates have been seen. The voters have spoken. And now is the time for the psephologists to speak. And they have. Over the next few minutes, I will explain what are they saying. The exit polls of the Haryana Assembly elections have painted a decisive picture indicating a clear return to power for the Congress party in the state after almost a decade. In Jammu and Kashmir, the Congress National Conference Alliance is set to have an edge, but no party is likely to touch the majority mark. First up, let's talk about Haryana. Now, the two big questions that the exit polls have just come in will answer is, number one, will the BJP's two-term government in Haryana and, of course, the Chief Minister Nayaab Singh Saini will be able to hold on to power? Which takes us to the second question. If not, if BJP fails, that is, to win a majority on its own, how much is it going to miss the mark by? Enough to let the Congress make what will be a stellar comeback? With voting over, let's see what the exit poll numbers are predicting. Viewers, the numbers that have come in don't paint a very good picture, as I told you earlier, for the BJP government in Haryana. Now, Haryana Assembly, as you know, has 90 seats. In 2019, BJP managed to win 40 seats on its own, with Congress getting 31, JJP 10 and others 9. The total voting percentage in 2019 stood at 69%. Now, strong anti-incumbency should suggest a high voting percentage. In other words, more and more people stepping out to vote against the government in power. But as per ground reports, until 6 p.m., only 65% votes had been cast, which, by the way, is less than the votes cast in 2019 Assembly elections. And that makes what I'm about to tell you even more interesting. It completely shoots down the logic of high voter turnout in case of anti-incumbency. Because while the polling numbers are lower than last time, BJP seems to have conceded ground to the Congress. Let's talk about what are various exit polls saying. First up, the India Today C voter. As per the exit poll, BJP is all set to win between 20 to 28 seats. India Alliance is set to win between 50 to 58 seats. JJP is unlikely to open its account, and others are likely to win between 10 to 16 seats. Next, we have JIS-TTIF Research exit poll. According to this exit poll, BJP is likely to win between 29 to 37 seats. India Alliance is expected to win 45 to 53 seats. JJP, once again, is not even able to open its account. Others are likely to win 4 to 6 seats. Next, we have News 24 Chanakya exit poll. According to that, BJP is expected to win 18 to 24 seats. India Alliance between 55 to 62. JJP, again, is not even going to open its account, and others are likely to win 2 to 5 seats. Now, as per People's Pulse's exit poll, BJP is likely to win 26 seats, India Alliance 55, JJP 1 seat. This is the first exit poll so far from all the exit polls that we have seen in which JJP is being predicted to win between 0 to 1 seats. Others are likely to win 3 to 5 seats. Next up, we have the Republic Matrix exit poll. According to that, BJP is going to win 18 to 24 seats, India Alliance between 55 to 62, and the Republic Matrix poll is giving JJP 3 seats, others 2 to 5. And this is, of course, as you can see, the poll of polls for Haryana. The total number of assembly seats in Haryana is 90, and the magic figure, of course, is 46. First key battle is amongst Bhupinder Hooda, Manju Hooda, and Parveen Guskhani from the Gadi Sampla Kiloi seat. Next up, we have Julana, which is where, of course, Vinesh Fogad is contesting the elections from. She is contesting against Yokesh Bairagi and Kavita Dalal. Next up, from Ladwa, we have Naib Singh Saini, the sitting chief minister, fighting the election against Meva Singh and Joga Singh Umri. Last but not the least, Dushyant Chautala versus Brajendra Singh versus Devendra Atri. And viewers, if the results turn out to be in line with exit polls, and yes, there is an if, because you all know, while exit polls do get it right, but when they are off, they're really, really off. Here's an example, of course, the Lok Sabha elections of 2024. Now, that's unlikely to happen in Haryana, but just in case the exit polls get it right, Haryana is all set to get a new chief minister. Congress veteran Bhupinder Singh Hooda is being projected as the chief minister. Hooda, as you know, has been the chief minister of the state before as well. Now, let's move to the exit poll predictions for the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. And here, the big question is, will the BJP, after all that it claims to have done, be able to convert it into votes and, more crucially, seats? Or PDP, NC and Congress will once again dominate the Union Territory as they have in the past? As per the Election Commission, the overall voter turnout in J&K stood at 63.88%. Election in Jammu and Kashmir were held in 3 phases. Phase 3 saw 69.69%, the highest voting percentage. Phase 1 polling stood at 61.3% and Phase 2 polling stood at 57.3%. Now, election in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir is being closely watched as the BJP is expected to make big inroads in the J&K, where it shared power with Mehbooba Mufti's PDP for 3 years. Jammu and Kashmir Valley put together have a total of 90 seats, out of which, after the abrogation of Article 370, Jammu now has 47 seats, while the Valley has 43 seats. Now, let's quickly take a look at what various exit polls are saying. So, first up, we have Access My India poll. According to Access My India, BJP is expected to win 24 to 34 seats. NC plus Congress combined is expected to win 35 to 45 seats. PDP is expected to win 4 to 6 seats, and others are expected to win anywhere between 8 to 27. Moving on, the next, of course, is the exit poll by Dainik Bhaskar. As per that, BJP is likely to win 20 to 25 seats. NC plus Congress combined again is expected to win 35 to 40 seats. PDP 4 to 7 seats, and others are expected to win 12 to 16 seats. Next up is the India Today C voter exit poll. As per that, BJP is expected to win 27 to 32 seats, NC plus Congress between 40 to 48 seats, PDP 6 to 12 seats, and others anywhere between 6 to 11 seats. Next up is News 24 Chanakya's exit poll. BJP once again is in the 20s between 20 to 25. NC plus Congress combined is expected to win between 35 to 40. PDP between 4 to 7. Others between 6 to 12. Last but not the least, People's Pulse exit poll. BJP again is in the higher band limit here. It is expected to win between 23 to 27 seats. NC plus Congress are likely to win 33 to 35 seats. PDP between 7 to 11, and others, as you can see, between 4 to 5. This, of course, is the poll of polls. Now, as you can see in J&K, there's not going to be any clear winner, at least not as per the exit polls. The real trouble in case of BJP, however, is in Kashmir Valley, where its vote share has come crashing down to 3%, with Congress NC going up 41%. Overall, in J&K, it is big advantage for Congress and NC combined, with NC Congress combined winning anywhere between 33 at the lower end and 48 at the upper end. Now, as per reports, it is PDP which is going to lose the most. The counting of votes will take place on October 8th. So you know what you need to do. Keep watching the Hindustan Times, your election headquarters. I will join you with live coverage on the result day. Thank you for watching.
पूरे बहुमत से भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार आएगी, 8 तारीख को आएगी, पूर्ण बहुमत के साथ। हमें पूरा विश्वास है। हरियाणा के लोगों ने जो पिछले 10 वर्षों में कार्यों को देखा है, हर वर्ग के लिए काम हुए हैं।
कांग्रेस हरियाणा में अब की बार हरियाणा में कांग्रेस की सरकार।
सर, आपका भी असेसमेंट होगा, सुबह से आप अलग अलग पोलिंग स्टेशन पर जा रहे हैं, आपके मुताबिक कितनी सीटें?
नहीं, सीटें के मैं नहीं कहता, लेकिन भारी बहुमत से कांग्रेस बनने जा रही है। 60 से भी ऊपर हो सकती है और जितनी भी होती है, मैं कह दूं 60 सीट आ जाए, 70। आपको ये असेसमेंट नहीं होती। असेसमेंट ये है भारी बहुमत से कांग्रेस पार्टी सरकार बना जा रही है।
अभी तक मुझे फीडबैक मिला है, पीडीपी साउथ कश्मीर में नंबर 1 पार्टी बन के उभरेगी। सबसे ज्यादा एमएलए पीडीपी के होंगे, जो मुझे पुलवामा, शोपियान, इस्लामाबाद और कुलगाम से फीडबैक मिल रहा है। पीडीपी विल बी द नंबर 1 पार्टी।
मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि 8 अक्टूबर को जब जम्मू कश्मीर में वोटों की गिनती होगी तो शानदार जीत के साथ भारतीय जनता पार्टी जम्मू कश्मीर में सबसे बड़े राजनीतिक दल के तौर पर उभर कर आएगी और जम्मू कश्मीर में कुछ सहयोगी दलों के साथ और कुछ आजाद उम्मीदवारों के समर्थन से जम्मू कश्मीर में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार होगी।
चारों तरफ से आवाज आ रही है, भरोसा दिल से, भाजपा फिर से।
आमतौर से बब्बर शेर अकेला दिखता है, टाइगर अकेला दिखता है। यहाँ पे मतलब हजारों टाइगर एक साथ बैठे हुए हैं।
मजबूती से, ईमानदारी से हरियाणा प्रदेश को आगे बढ़ाने का काम हमारी सरकार करेगी।
कहते हैं यही रात अंतिम, यही रात वाली रात ठीक कटी, सब बढ़िया रहा।
नहीं, हमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। जिनके लिए अंतिम, जिनके लिए भारी होगी उनके लिए होगी, हमारे लिए तो जैसे पहले था वैसे अब है। हमें इस बात का नहीं है। हम कांग्रेस है, कांग्रेस सत्ता के लिए काम करती है, हम सेवा के लिए काम करते हैं। ये अंतर है इसके अंदर। जो व्यक्ति निस्वार्थ भाव से सेवा करता है, ईमानदारी से काम करता है, उसको ना अंतिम रात दिखती है ना भारी दिखती है, उसके लिए तो सामान्य है। क्योंकि हमारी जो सोच है वो सोच है लोगों की सेवा करना और लोगों के हित में काम करना, ये हमारी सोच है।
साहब, आपने इंटरनल रिपोर्ट्स लिए हैं, इंटरनल रिपोर्ट्स क्या कहती हैं? आपने सीआईडी से भी ली?
मैंने कहा है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी तीसरी बार बड़े मैंडेट के साथ सरकार, एक तरफा सरकार बना रही है।
लेकिन कांग्रेस लगातार दावा कर रही है कि वो
दावा कर सकते हैं, कोई हम थोड़ी मना करेंगे।
मुख्यमंत्री की भी लड़ाई शुरू हो गई।
देखिए, हम कांग्रेस के अंदर ये मना नहीं कर सकते। अभी कई लोग और भी हैं जो दावे कर रहे हैं, किसी को मना थोड़ी करेंगे। ये आप कर देंगे मना कि आप नहीं बन रहे हैं, आप बोल नहीं सकते। दावा करना एक अलग बात है। हमने अपने काम के ऊपर, जो हमने ईमानदारी से काम किया है, हमने सेवा की है, हमने सत्ता नहीं चलाई है, हमने सेवा की है हरियाणा प्रदेश की। और उस सेवा के ऊपर अगर आप लोग देखेंगे, पिछले 10 वर्षों मेरा हरियाणा बदला है, गति से बदला है। क्योंकि विपक्ष के लोग तो इस प्रकार का काला चश्मा लगा रखा है कि वो कहते हैं कोई काम ही नहीं हुआ। भाई, अब सबसे बड़ा उदाहरण तो मैं आपको दूं, हमारे शहीदों में अशोक तंवर जी जनसभा में थे ना जनसभा में, और उसके तुरंत बाद 45 मिनट के अंदर 45 मिनट के अंदर वो पहुंच गए राहुल के पास। पहुंचे है नहीं पहुंचे कि ये इतना गति से जाना और संसाधन देना, ये करे काम नहीं हुआ। काम क्यों नहीं हुआ भाई? तो एक जनसभा में खड़ा था, अर्थात उसके 20 मिनट के बाद दूसरी में चला गया राहुल को मिलने के लिए।
कहीं ना कहीं एक मजाक भी चल रहा था कि उन्होंने राहुल गांधी को कहा कि 152 डी के जैसे और
फिर इनको काम नहीं दिख रहा है, भी काम नहीं हुआ। कितना लोगों का जीवन हमने सरल सुगम किया है, रास्ते हमने गजब के किए हैं कि एक व्यक्ति 20 मिनट पहले दूसरी जनसभा में हो और 20 मिनट के बाद दूसरी जनसभा में राहुल को मिलने चला जाए, तो रास्तों का ही तो है।
56 दिन कम मिले आपको?
नहीं, देखिए, हमने पिछले 10 वर्षों में काम किया है, 56 दिन का सवाल नहीं है। हमने पिछले 10 वर्षों के अंदर जबरदस्त काम किया है। आदरणीय मनोहर लाल जी ने बहुत जबरदस्त हरियाणा के अंदर जिस प्रकार के सिस्टम को खड़ा किया है, हरियाणा प्रदेश को लंबे समय तक उसका लाभ मिलेगा। और क्योंकि इस काम को आगे बढ़ाना ईमानदारी से हमारी जिम्मेवारी है और हम उस काम को बिल्कुल बखूबी आगे बढ़ाएंगे। हमारी एक सोच है, ईमानदारी से हम हरियाणा प्रदेश की सेवा कर रहे हैं, आगे भी जारी रहेगी। और जो भी समस्याएं, जो अगर हरियाणा के लोग हमारे ध्यान में लगाएंगे, हमारे भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने ईमानदारी से काम किया है। हमने चाहे किसान की फसल का खराबा है उसका 100% मुआवजा उस तक देने का काम किया है। हमारा सब्जी का किसान है उसको भावांतर भरपाई देने का काम किया। मेरा बाजरे का किसान है उसको भावांतर भरपाई देने का काम किया है। मेरा सरसों का किसान है उसको उचित मूल्य MSP पर खरीदने का काम हमारी सरकार ने किया है। ऐसा हर वर्ग के लिए हमारी सरकार ने काम किया। गरीब व्यक्ति को हमने मजबूत, प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना के तहत हमने मकान बना करके देने का काम किया है। हमने इसके साथ साथ 5 लाख रुपए का आयुष्मान कार्ड की उसको कोई चिंता, कोई दिक्कत ना आए, उसके लिए हमने काम किया है। हमारी सरकार ईमानदारी से पिछले 10 वर्षों के अंदर लगी रही है। आगे भी हम ईमानदारी से, हमारी सरकार मजबूती से काम करेगी और हरियाणा में तीसरी बार भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बन रही है।
सर, एग्जिट पोल को लेकर तमाम जो कांग्रेस के नेता हैं वो कह रहे हैं कि ऐसे ही नतीजे आने वाले हैं जैसे एग्जिट पोल आए।
अच्छा है जो वो बात तो सोच रहे हैं, क्योंकि उनको कोई रोक थोड़ी सकता है। एग्जिट पोल ये तो छत्तीसगढ़ में कह रहे थे कि हमारी सरकार बन रही है, मध्य प्रदेश में बोल रहे थे कि हमारी टक्कर है, यही बोल रहे थे कांग्रेस के लोग, कोई और नहीं बोल रहा था। एग्जिट पोल के ऊपर बोल रहे थे, ये एग्जिट पोल के ऊपर बोल रहे थे। बोल रहे अच्छा है, खुश हो जाएंगे, परंतु हमने ईमानदारी से काम किया है। हमने ईमानदारी से हरियाणा प्रदेश को, देश को आगे बढ़ाया। नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में इन्होंने भ्रष्टाचार के अंदर देश को ऊंचाइयों के ऊपर लेकर के गए। हम विकास के मामले में भारतीय जनता पार्टी देश और प्रदेश को ऊंचाइयों के ऊपर लेकर के गई है। हमने बिना क्षेत्रवाद के ईमानदारी से हरियाणा प्रदेश का काम किया। इस बात को लोग एक्सेप्ट करते हैं। जब लोग एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी तीसरी बार सरकार बना रही है।
सर, कुमारी शैलजा का भी बयान आया, हुड्डा भी कह रहे हैं 60 से अधिक सीटें आ रही हैं। इसके साथ ही वो राहुल गांधी की नेतृत्व की बात कर रही हैं शैलजा के, लगातार राहुल गांधी।
देखिए ये इनका इंटरनल मामला है, वो अपनी क्या उन्होंने अपनी समीकरण लगा रखे हैं, वो अपने समीकरणों को देखें, देख करके फिर बात करें। परंतु उसके साथ साथ वो राजस्थान को भी ध्यान करें, वो मध्य प्रदेश को भी ध्यान करें, छत्तीसगढ़ को भी ध्यान करें, उत्तराखंड को भी ध्यान करें। देखना चाहिए, झूठ की राजनीति नहीं चलेगी अब, क्योंकि इन्होंने झूठ की राजनीति चलाई है, शुरू में चली है। हिमाचल में चल गई, कर्नाटका में चल गई, तेलंगाना में चल गई, परंतु उसके बाद नहीं चली। उसके बाद इनको नकार दिया गया, क्योंकि ये लोग झूठ बोल करके लोगों को बरगड़ा करके वोट लेने का काम करते हैं। परंतु अब इनका झूठ नहीं बिकेगा, ना चलेगा। भारतीय जनता पार्टी तीसरी बार सरकार बना रही है।
लगता है सर ईवीएम पर एक बार फिर सवाल उठाए जाएंगे।
देखिए वो तो उनके DNA के अंदर है, जब नहीं अपने पक्ष में कुछ दिखता है फिर EVM को कोसेंगे।
किस तरीके से नतीजे रहेंगे मुख्यमंत्री जी
ध्यान में आएंगे। प्राथमिकता के आधार के ऊपर उसको पूरा करना ये हमारी जिम्मेवारी है।
अगर की जरूरत पड़ी तो करेंगे।
देखिए ये अभी बाद में बात करेंगे, अभी हमारी एक तरफा सरकार भारतीय जनता पार्टी की बन रही है। काउंटिंग है और हमें पूर्ण विश्वास है हरियाणा प्रदेश की जो हमने सेवा ईमानदारी से पिछले 10 वर्षों के अंदर की है, मैं उस आधार के ऊपर कह सकता हूं कि हम तीसरी बार हरियाणा के अंदर एक तरफा सरकार बना रहे हैं। भारतीय जनता पार्टी तीसरी बार सेवा के लिए तैयार है, क्योंकि केंद्र में आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी तीसरी बार प्रधानमंत्री बने हैं और हमने पिछले 10 वर्षों के अंदर आदरणीय मोदी जी के नेतृत्व के अंदर हरियाणा की गति से विकास किया है, समस्याओं का समाधान किया है, ईमानदारी से हमारी सरकार ने किया है और आगे भी हम मजबूती से, ईमानदारी से हरियाणा प्रदेश को आगे बढ़ाने का काम हमारी सरकार करेगी।
कहते हैं यही रात अंतिम, यही रात वाली रात ठीक कटी, सब बढ़िया रहा।
नहीं, हमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। जिनके लिए अंतिम, जिनके लिए
देखिए, मैं समझता हूँ राहुल गांधी के प्यार को, मोहब्बत की दुकान को, हुड्डा के काम को, कांग्रेस की बात को लोगों ने फूल चढ़ा दिया। क्या जब कांग्रेस ही हमारे बच्चों को बचा सकती है? झूठ छल कपट अब नहीं चलेगा। बहन, बेटी, किसान, मजदूर, नौजवान, हर आदमी राहुल गांधी के साथ खड़ा होगा। ये बड़ा परिवर्तन है। हुड्डा मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे और नेतृत्व भी उनको बनाएगा और हम भी चाहते हैं वही बने। और लहर है, आप देखना, अब लोगों के काम होंगे, अब लोगों के अच्छे दिन आएंगे, अब लोगों को नौकरी मिलेगी, नौजवान को नौकरी मिलेगी। राहुल गांधी जो कहते हैं, सच कहते हैं, ईमानदारी की लड़ाई लड़ रहे हैं। पूरा भारत उनको पसंद कर रहा है। अब कोई हराने वाला नहीं है। चाहे कुछ हो, सरकार कांग्रेस की बनेगी, यह शुरुआत है। आगे महाराष्ट्र में, झारखंड में, दिल्ली में, हर जगह कांग्रेस का परचम लहराएगा। अब झूठ का समय चला गया। देखिए, एग्जिट पोल से हम संतुष्ट नहीं है। एग्जिट पोल 50-60 दिखा रहा है और मैं समझता हूँ 70 से ज्यादा सीट आएगी। पूरा हरियाणा स्वीप कर रहा है। मोदी जी को पसंद नहीं कर रहा है। मैं समझता हूँ राहुल गांधी के नेतृत्व में अब शुरुआत है। उसके राहुल गांधी के प्यार को, काम को पसंद कर रहे हैं, प्रियंका गांधी को पसंद करें, खड़गे साहब की मेहनत और सोनिया जी का आशीर्वाद रंग रहेगा।
हमने चाहे किसान की फसल का खराबा है उसका 100% मुआवजा उस तक देने का काम किया है। हमारा सब्जी का किसान, उसको भावांतर भरपाई देने का काम किया। मेरा बाजरे का किसान है, उसको भावांतर भरपाई देने का काम किया है। मेरा सरसों का किसान है, उसको उचित मूल्य MSP पर खरीदने का काम हमारी सरकार ने किया है। ऐसा हर वर्ग के लिए हमारी सरकार ने काम किया। गरीब व्यक्ति को हमने मजबूत, प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना के तहत हमने मकान बना करके देने का काम किया है। हमने इसके साथ साथ 5 लाख रुपए का आयुष्मान कार्ड की उसको कोई चिंता, कोई दिक्कत ना आए, उसके लिए हमने काम किया है। हमारी सरकार ईमानदारी से पिछले 10 वर्षों के अंदर लगी रही है। आगे भी हम ईमानदारी से, हमारी सरकार मजबूती से काम करेगी और हरियाणा में तीसरी बार भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बन रही है।
सर, एग्जिट पोल को लेकर तमाम जो कांग्रेस के नेता हैं वो कह रहे हैं कि ऐसे ही नतीजे आने वाले हैं जैसे एग्जिट पोल आए।
अच्छा है जो वो बात सोच रहे हैं, क्योंकि उनको कोई रोक थोड़ी सकता है। एग्जिट पोल ये तो छत्तीसगढ़ में कह रहे थे कि हमारी सरकार बन रही है, मध्य प्रदेश में बोल रहे थे कि हमारी टक्कर है। यही बोल रहे थे कांग्रेस के लोग, कोई और नहीं बोल रहा था। एग्जिट पोल के ऊपर बोल रहे थे, ये एग्जिट पोल के ऊपर बोल रहे थे। हाँ, बोलने अच्छा है, खुश हो जाएंगे, परंतु हमने ईमानदारी से काम किया है। हमने ईमानदारी से हरियाणा प्रदेश को, देश को आगे बढ़ाया। नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में इन्होंने भ्रष्टाचार के अंदर देश को ऊंचाइयों के ऊपर लेकर के गए। हम विकास के मामले में भारतीय जनता पार्टी देश और प्रदेश को ऊंचाइयों के ऊपर लेकर के गई है। हमने बिना क्षेत्रवाद के ईमानदारी से हरियाणा प्रदेश का काम किया। इस बात को लोग एक्सेप्ट करते हैं। जब लोग एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी तीसरी बार सरकार बना रही है।
सर, कुमारी शैलजा का भी बयान आया, हुड्डा भी कह रहे हैं 60 से अधिक सीटें आ रही हैं। इसके साथ ही वो राहुल गांधी की नेतृत्व की बात कर रही हैं शैलजा की लगातार। राहुल गांधी, देखिए,
ये इनका इंटरनल मामला है। वो अपनी क्या, उन्होंने अपनी समीकरण लगा रखे हैं, वो अपने समीकरणों को देखें, देख करके फिर बात करें। परंतु उसके साथ साथ वो राजस्थान को भी ध्यान करें, वो मध्य प्रदेश को भी ध्यान करें, छत्तीसगढ़ को भी ध्यान करें, उत्तराखंड को भी ध्यान करें। उन्हें देखना चाहिए। झूठ की राजनीति नहीं चलेगी अब, क्योंकि इन्होंने झूठ की राजनीति चलाई है, शुरू में चली है। हिमाचल में चल गई, कर्नाटका में चल गई, तेलंगाना में चल गई, परंतु उसके बाद नहीं चली। उसके बाद इनको नकार दिया गया, क्योंकि ये लोग झूठ बोल करके लोगों को बरगड़ा करके वोट लेने का काम करते हैं। परंतु अब इनका झूठ नहीं बिकेगा, न चलेगा। भारतीय जनता पार्टी तीसरी बार सरकार बना रही है।
लगता है सर ईवीएम पर एक बार फिर सवाल उठाए जाएंगे।
देखिए, वो तो उनके DNA के अंदर है। जब नहीं अपने पक्ष में कुछ दिखता है फिर EVM को कोसेंटिंग है। और हमें पूर्ण विश्वास है हरियाणा प्रदेश की जो हमने सेवा ईमानदारी से पिछले 10 वर्षों के अंदर की है, मैं उस आधार के ऊपर कह सकता हूं कि हम तीसरी बार हरियाणा के अंदर एक तरफा सरकार बना रहे हैं। भारतीय जनता पार्टी तीसरी बार सेवा के लिए तैयार है, क्योंकि केंद्र में आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी तीसरी बार प्रधानमंत्री बने हैं और हमने पिछले 10 वर्षों के अंदर आदरणीय मोदी जी के नेतृत्व के अंदर हरियाणा की गति से विकास किया है, समस्याओं का समाधान किया है, ईमानदारी से हमारी सरकार ने किया है। और आगे भी हम मजबूती से, ईमानदारी से हरियाणा प्रदेश को आगे बढ़ाने का काम हमारी सरकार करेगी।
कहते हैं यही रात अंतिम, यही रात वाली रात ठीक कटी, सब बढ़िया रहा।
नहीं, हमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। जिनके लिए अंतिम, जिनके लिए भारी होगी उनके लिए होगी, हमारे लिए तो जैसे पहले था वैसे अब है। हमें इस बात का नहीं है। हम कांग्रेस है, कांग्रेस सत्ता के लिए काम करती है, हम सेवा के लिए काम करते हैं। ये अंतर है इसके अंदर। जो व्यक्ति निस्वार्थ भाव से सेवा करता है, ईमानदारी से काम करता है, उसको ना अंतिम रात दिखती है ना भारी दिखती है, उसके लिए तो सामान्य है। क्योंकि हमारी जो सोच है वो सोच है लोगों की सेवा करना और लोगों के हित में काम करना, ये हमारी सोच है।
साहब, आपने इंटरनल रिपोर्ट्स ली हैं, इंटरनल रिपोर्ट्स क्या कहती हैं? आपने सीआईडी से भी ली?
मैंने कहा है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी तीसरी बार बड़े मैंडेट के साथ सरकार, एक तरफा सरकार बना रही है।
लेकिन कांग्रेस लगातार दावा कर रही है कि वो
दावा कर सकते हैं, कोई हम थोड़ी मना करेंगे।
मुख्यमंत्री की भी लड़ाई शुरू हो गई।
देखिए, हम कांग्रेस के अंदर ये मना नहीं कर सकते। अभी कई लोग और भी हैं जो दावे कर रहे हैं, किसी को मना थोड़ी करेंगे। ये आप कर देंगे मना कि आप नहीं बन रहे हैं, आप बोल नहीं सकते। दावा करना एक अलग बात है। हमने अपने काम के ऊपर जो हमने ईमानदारी से काम किया है, हमने सेवा की है, हमने सत्ता नहीं चलाई है, हमने सेवा की है हरियाणा प्रदेश की। और उस सेवा के ऊपर अगर आप लोग देखेंगे, पिछले 10 वर्षों मेरा हरियाणा बदला है, गति से बदला है। क्योंकि विपक्ष के लोग तो इस प्रकार का काला चश्मा लगा रखा है कि वो कहते हैं कि कोई काम ही नहीं हुआ।
ज्यादा है। मेरे जवान साथी देश छोड़ के जा रहे हैं, वो बोल रहे हैं हमारा कोई भविष्य ही नहीं रहता। डंकी से जा रहे हैं, स्टूडेंट वीजा से जा रहे हैं, 50-50 लाख दे के जा रहे हैं, अपने पुश्तैनी जमीन बेच के जा रहे हैं। हमारे गांव खाली हो जाएंगे, हमारे शहर खाली हो जाएंगे। दूसरी चीज विकास। इस भ्रष्ट भाजपा सरकार ने हमारे शहर में, हमारे हल्के में, हमारे पूरे हरियाणा में कोई नए बड़े डेवलपमेंटल प्रोजेक्ट नहीं लेके आए हैं। जो पुराने प्रोजेक्ट कांग्रेस पार्टी ने प्लान किए थे वो ही खत्म किए, उसके सिवा और कुछ नया नहीं लेके आया है। ये जो पुरानी चीजें हमने बनाई भी थी उनकी मेंटेनेंस भी नहीं कर पाया है ये। इसलिए कोई नया इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं आया है, कोई नया बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट नहीं आया कि लोग सोचते चलो आओ हरियाणा आते हैं, देखो क्या क्या नई चीजें आ रही। और तीसरी, मैं 3 चीजें बोली थी, और तीसरी विकास और बेरोजगारी के बाद है ये भ्रष्टाचार और नफरत। इस भाजपा सरकार ने, जैसे ने कर्नाटका में किया था, एक 40% कमीशन सरकार चलाई हुई। कोई भी काम आपको करना होता है, आपको 40 से 50% तो बस रिश्वत देनी पड़ती, और उसके बाद भी, इतनी रिश्वत खाने के बाद भी कभी कभार ये काम नहीं करते। और इतना गुंडा राज फैल गया कि आपको फरौती के फोन आते हैं, दिन दिहाड़ी चोरी आती है। तो सरकार का पॉइंट क्या है? अगर वो अपने सारे साधारण जो सारे के सारे सिटीजन्स हैं उनका ध्यान भी नहीं रख सकती, बस उनका बटवा खाली करने में लगी हुई है।
बीजेपी की कितनी सीट आप देख लग रही है आपको?
जैसे मैंने लगभग मेरे हिसाब से 15 सीट आएगी उनके, हो सकता है उससे भी कम आए, क्योंकि इस भाजपा सरकार ने पिछले 10 साल में कोई काम तो किया नहीं। लोग उन्हें वोट देना भी नहीं चाहते। हमने 2019 में भी देखा था कैसे उनकी सीटें कम हुई। इस बार तो किसान आंदोलन के बाद और इतनी ज्यादा बेरोजगारी के बाद, इतना ज्यादा भ्रष्टाचार के बाद कोई भी वोट देना नहीं चाहता। मैं जानता हूँ 15 सीट से कम आएगी।
आदित्य जी, कांग्रेस में ठीक है, कांग्रेस की सीटें आ रही है, ऐसा कि पुल बता रहा है, आज तो काउंटिंग का डेट है, सब सामने होगा, लेकिन सीएम फेस को लेकर के अभी भी यहाँ पे खलबली मची हुई है। हर एक बहुत दावेदार है यहाँ पे सीएम फेस।
ये अच्छी बात होती है, मुझे समझ नहीं आता। तो बीजेपी नैरेटिव है ये बुरी बात। हमारी पूरी पार्टी जुड़ी हुई है, एक साथ काम करी। 8 तारीख तक हम सब ने एक साथ काम किया। अब राहुल गांधी जी, सोनिया गांधी जी, मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे जी ये निर्णय लेंगे कौन सा कांग्रेस का सिपाही, को हम सब कांग्रेस के सिपाही है, कौन सा कांग्रेस के सिपाही इस प्रांत का, हमारे हरियाणा का सीएम बनेगा। ये अच्छी बात है कि हमारे उनको निर्णय लेना पड़ रहा है। ये देखो 3-4 अलग अलग बड़े बड़े लीडर हैं। बीजेपी में तो कोई बड़े लीडर है ही नहीं, सिर्फ मोदी जी और शाह जी है। उनको तो खुद सोचना पड़ता है कौन सा हमारा पपेट बनेगा, उसको मुख्यमंत्री बना देते हैं। और हमने इतने सारे स्टेटों में देखा है, राजस्थान ही आप ले लो, जहाँ सीएम को पता ही नहीं काम कैसे करना है। तो कोई बड़े लीडर तो है नहीं जिनके पास सालों साल का अनुभव है।
आपके फादर का कंट्रीब्यूशन कैसा रहा है, एक्सपीरियंस कैसा रहा है? मेंटोर की तरह उन्होंने गाइड किया?
मेरे दादाजी और पिताजी दोनों ने मुझे सब कुछ सिखाया जो उन्होंने सीखा है। दादाजी ने तो 50 साल से ज्यादा राजनीति की। शुरुआत से जब उन्होंने कलायत से शुरू किया था तब से वो सीखते हुए गए हैं। लोगों का स्वभाव कैसा होता है, लोगों से बातचीत कैसे करते हैं, काम कैसे करते हैं लोगों के लिए। और मैं जानता हूं उन्होंने भी, जब मैं छोटा था तब से देखा, मैं लोगों के बीच में रह के सबसे ज्यादा खुश रहता था। लोगों के काम करके जो संतुष्टि मिलती थी, और किसी चीज से कभी मुझे संतुष्टि नहीं मिली। कोई पैसा कमा के
देखिए, मैं समझता हूँ राहुल गांधी के प्यार को, मोहब्बत की दुकान को, हुड्डा के काम को, कांग्रेस की बात को लोगों ने फूल चढ़ा दिया। क्या दे कांग्रेस ही हमारे बच्चों को बचा सकती है। झूठ छल कपट अब नहीं चलेगा। मैं बहन बेटी किसान मजदूर नौजवान हर आदमी राहुल गांधी के साथ खड़ा होगा। ये बड़ा परिवर्तन है। हुड्डा मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे और नेतृत्व भी उनको बनाएगा और हम भी चाहते हैं वही बने। और लहर है, आप देखना, अब लोगों के काम होंगे, अब लोगों के अच्छे दिन आएंगे, अब लोगों को नौकरी मिलेगी, नौजवान को नौकरी मिलेगी। राहुल गांधी जो कहते हैं सच कहते हैं, ईमानदारी की लड़ाई लड़ रहे हैं। पूरा भारत उनको पसंद कर रहा है। अब कोई हराने वाला नहीं है। चाहे कुछ हो, सरकार कांग्रेस की बनेगी, ये शुरुआत है। आगे महाराष्ट्र में, झारखंड में, दिल्ली में हर जगह कांग्रेस का परचम लहराएगा। अब झूठ का समय चला गया। देखिए, एग्जिट पोल से हम संतुष्ट नहीं। एग्जिट पोल 50-60 दिखा रहा है और मैं समझता हूँ 70 से ज्यादा सीट आएगी। पूरा हरियाणा स्वीप कर रहा है। मोदी जी को पसंद नहीं कर रहा है। मैं समझता हूँ राहुल गांधी के नेतृत्व में अब शुरुआत है। उसके राहुल गांधी के प्यार को, काम को पसंद करें, प्रियंका गांधी को पसंद करें। खड़गे साहब की मेहनत और सोनिया जी का आशीर्वाद रंग रहेगा।
हमने चाहे किसान की फसल का खराबा है उसका 100% मुआवजा उस तक देने का काम किया है। फल हमारा सब्जी का किसान, उसको भावांतर भरपाई देने का काम किया। मेरा बाजरे का किसान, उसको भावांतर भरपाई देने का काम किया है। मेरा सरसों का किसान है, उसको उचित मूल्य MSP पर खरीदने का काम हमारी सरकार ने किया है। ऐसा हर वर्ग के लिए हमारी सरकार ने काम किया। गरीब व्यक्ति को हमने मजबूत, प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना के तहत हमने मकान बना करके देने का काम किया है। हमने इसके साथ साथ 5 लाख रुपए का आयुष्मान कार्ड की उसको कोई चिंता, कोई दिक्कत ना आए, उसके लिए हमने काम किया है। हमारी सरकार ईमानदारी से पिछले 10 वर्षों के अंदर लगी रही है। आगे भी हम ईमानदारी से, हमारी सरकार मजबूती से काम करेगी और हरियाणा में तीसरी बार भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बन रही है।
सर, एग्जिट पोल को लेकर तमाम जो कांग्रेस के नेता हैं वो कह रहे हैं कि ऐसे ही नतीजे आने वाले हैं जैसे एग्जिट पोल आए।
अच्छा है जो वो बात सोच रहे हैं, क्योंकि उनको कोई रोक थोड़ी सकता है। एग्जिट पोल ये तो छत्तीसगढ़ में कह रहे थे कि हमारी सरकार बन रही है, मध्य प्रदेश में बोल रहे थे कि हमारी टक्कर है। यही बोल रहे थे कांग्रेस के लोग, कोई और नहीं बोल रहा था। एग्जिट पोल के ऊपर बोल रहे थे, ये एग्जिट पोल के ऊपर बोल रहे थे। हाँ, बोलने अच्छा है, खुश हो जाएंगे, परंतु हमने ईमानदारी से काम किया है। हमने ईमानदारी से हरियाणा प्रदेश को, देश को आगे बढ़ाया। नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में इन्होंने भ्रष्टाचार के अंदर देश को ऊंचाइयों के ऊपर लेकर के गए। हम विकास के मामले में भारतीय जनता पार्टी देश और प्रदेश को ऊंचाइयों के ऊपर लेकर के गई है। हमने बिना क्षेत्रवाद के ईमानदारी से हरियाणा प्रदेश का काम किया। इस बात को लोग एक्सेप्ट करते हैं। जब लोग एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी तीसरी बार सरकार बना रही है।
आसफ कुमारी सैलजा का भी बयान आया, हुड्डा भी कह रहे हैं 60 से अधिक सीटें आ रही हैं। इसके साथ ही वो राहुल गांधी की नेतृत्व की बात कर रही हैं सैलजा के लगातार। राहुल गांधी,
देखिए, ये इनका इंटरनल मामला है। वो अपनी क्या उन्होंने अपनी समीकरण लगा रखे हैं, वो अपने समीकरणों को देखें, देख करके फिर बात करें। परंतु उसके साथ साथ वो राजस्थान को भी ध्यान करें, वो मध्य प्रदेश को भी ध्यान करें, छत्तीसगढ़ को भी ध्यान करें, उत्तराखंड को भी ध्यान करें। उन्हें देखना चाहिए। झूठ की राजनीति नहीं चलेगी अब, क्योंकि इन्होंने झूठ की राजनीति चलाई है, शुरू में चली है। हिमाचल में चल गई, कर्नाटका में चल गई, तेलंगाना में चल गई, परंतु उसके बाद नहीं चली। उसके बाद इनको नकार दिया गया, क्योंकि ये लोग झूठ बोल करके लोगों को बरगड़ा करके वोट लेने का काम करते हैं। परंतु अब इनका झूठ नहीं बिकेगा, न चलेगा। भारतीय जनता पार्टी तीसरी बार सरकार बना रही है।
लगता है सर ईवीएम पर एक बार फिर सवाल उठाए जाएंगे।
देखिए, वो तो उनके DNA के अंदर है। जब नहीं अपने पक्ष में कुछ दिखता है फिर EVM को कोसेंटिंग है। और हमें पूर्ण विश्वास है हरियाणा प्रदेश की जो हमने सेवा ईमानदारी से पिछले 10 वर्षों के अंदर की है, मैं उस आधार के ऊपर कह सकता हूं कि हम तीसरी बार हरियाणा के अंदर एक तरफा सरकार बना रहे हैं। भारतीय जनता पार्टी तीसरी बार सेवा के लिए तैयार है, क्योंकि केंद्र में आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी तीसरी बार प्रधानमंत्री बने हैं। और हमने पिछले 10 वर्षों के अंदर आदरणीय मोदी जी के नेतृत्व के अंदर हरियाणा की गति से विकास किया है, समस्याओं का समाधान किया है, ईमानदारी से हमारी सरकार ने किया है। और आगे भी हम मजबूती से, ईमानदारी से हरियाणा प्रदेश को आगे बढ़ाने का काम हमारी सरकार करेगी।
कहते हैं यही रात अंतिम, यही रात वारी रात ठीक कटी, सब बढ़िया रहा।
नहीं, हमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। जिनके लिए अंतिम, जिनके लिए भारी होगी उनके लिए होगी, हमारे लिए तो जैसे पहले था वैसे अब। हमें इस बात का नहीं है। हम कांग्रेस है, कांग्रेस सत्ता के लिए काम करती है, हम सेवा के लिए काम करते हैं। ये अंतर है इसके अंदर। जो व्यक्ति निस्वार्थ भाव से सेवा करता है, ईमानदारी से काम करता है, उसको ना अंतिम रात दिखती है ना भारी दिखती है, उसके लिए तो सामान्य है। क्योंकि हमारी जो सोच है वो सोच है लोगों की सेवा करना और लोगों के हित में काम करना, ये हमारी सोच है।
साहब, आपने इंटरनल रिपोर्ट्स लिए हैं, इंटरनल रिपोर्ट्स क्या कहती हैं? आपने सीआईडी से भी ली?
मैंने कहा है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी तीसरी बार बड़े मैंडेट के साथ सरकार, एक तरफा सरकार बना रही है।
लेकिन कांग्रेस लगातार दावा कर रही है कि वो
दावा कर सकते हैं, कोई हम थोड़ी मना करेंगे।
मुख्यमंत्री की भी लड़ाई शुरू हो।
देखिए, हम कांग्रेस के अंदर ये मना नहीं कर सकते। अभी कई लोग और भी हैं जो दावे कर रहे हैं, किसी को मना थोड़ी करेंगे। या आप कर देंगे मना कि आप नहीं बन रहे हैं, आप बोल नहीं सकते। दावा करना एक अलग बात है। हमने अपने काम के ऊपर, जो हमने ईमानदारी से काम किया है, हमने सेवा की है, हमने सत्ता नहीं चलाई है, हमने सेवा की है हरियाणा प्रदेश की। और उस सेवा के ऊपर अगर आप लोग देखेंगे, पिछले 10 वर्षों मेरा हरियाणा बदला है, गति से बदला है। क्योंकि विपक्ष के लोग तो इस प्रकार का काला चश्मा लगा रखा है कि वो कहते हैं कोई काम ही नहीं हुआ।
ज्यादा मेरे जवान साथी देश छोड़ के जा रहे हैं, वो बोल रहे हैं हमारा कोई भविष्य ही नहीं रहता। डंकी से जा रहे हैं, स्टूडेंट वीजा से जा रहे हैं, 50-50 लाख दे के जा रहे हैं, अपने पुश्तैनी जमीन बेच के जा रहे हैं। हमारे गांव खाली हो जाएंगे, हमारे शहर खाली हो जाएंगे। दूसरी चीज विकास। इस भ्रष्ट भाजपा सरकार ने हमारे शहर में, हमारे हल्के में, हमारे पूरे हरियाणा में कोई नए बड़े डेवलपमेंटल प्रोजेक्ट नहीं लेके आए हैं। जो पुराने प्रोजेक्ट कांग्रेस पार्टी ने प्लान किए थे वो ही खत्म किए, उसके सिवा और कुछ नया नहीं लेके आया है। ये जो पुरानी चीजें हम बनाई भी थी उनकी मेंटेनेंस भी नहीं कर पाया है ये। इसलिए कोई नया इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं आया है, कोई नया बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट नहीं आया कि लोग सोचते चलो आओ हरियाणा आते हैं, देखो क्या क्या नई चीजें आ रही। और तीसरी, मैं 3 चीजें बोली थी, और तीसरी विकास और बेरोजगारी के बाद है ये भ्रष्टाचार और नफरत। इस भाजपा सरकार ने, जैसे ने कर्नाटका में किया था, एक 40% कमीशन सरकार चलाई हुई। कोई भी काम आपको करना होता है, आपको 40 से 50% तो बस रिश्वत देनी पड़ती है, और उसके बाद भी, इतनी रिश्वत खाने के बाद भी कभी कभार ये काम नहीं करते। और इतना गुंडा राज फैल गया कि आपको फरोख्ती के फोन आते हैं, दिन दिहाड़ी चोरी आती है। तो सरकार का पॉइंट क्या है? अगर वो अपने सारे साधारण जो सारे के सारे सिटीजन्स हैं उनका ध्यान भी नहीं रख सकती, बस उनका बटवा खाली करने में लगी हुई है।
बीजेपी की कितनी सीट आप लग रही है आपको?
जैसे मैंने लगभग मेरे हिसाब से 15 सीट आएगी उनके, हो सकता है उससे भी कम आए, क्योंकि इस भाजपा सरकार ने पिछले 10 साल में कोई काम तो किया नहीं। लोग उन्हें वोट देना भी नहीं चाहते। हमने 2019 में भी देखा था कैसे उनकी सीटें कम हुई। इस बार तो किसान आंदोलन के बाद और इतनी ज्यादा बेरोजगारी के बाद, इतना ज्यादा भ्रष्टाचार के बाद कोई भी वोट देना नहीं चाहता। मैं जानता हूँ 15 सीट से कम आएगी।
आदित्य जी, कांग्रेस में ठीक है, कांग्रेस की सीटें आ रही है, ऐसा कि रिपोर्ट बता रहा है, आज तो काउंटिंग लेट है, सब सामने होगा, लेकिन सीएम फेस को लेकर के अभी भी यहाँ पे खलबली मची हुई है। हर एक बहुत दावेदार है यहाँ पे सीएम फेस के।
ये अच्छी बात होती है, मुझे समझ नहीं आता। तो बीजेपी नैरेटिव है ये बुरी बात। हमारी पूरी पार्टी जुड़ी हुई है, एक साथ काम करी। 8 तारीख तक हम सब ने एक साथ काम किया। अब राहुल गांधी जी, सोनिया गांधी जी, मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे जी ये निर्णय लेंगे कौन सा कांग्रेस का सिपाही, खुद हम सब कांग्रेस के सिपाही है, कौन सा कांग्रेस के सिपाही इस प्रांत का, हमारे हरियाणा का सीएम बनेगा। ये अच्छी बात है कि हमारे उनको निर्णय लेना पड़ रहा है। ये देखो 3-4 अलग अलग बड़े बड़े लीडर हैं। बीजेपी में तो कोई बड़े लीडर है ही नहीं, सिर्फ मोदी जी और शाह जी है। उनको तो खुद सोचना पड़ता है कौन सा हमारा पपेट बनेगा, उसको मुख्यमंत्री बना देते हैं। और हमने इतने सारे स्टेटों में देखा है, राजस्थान ही आप ले लो, जहाँ सीएम को पता ही नहीं काम कैसे करना है। तो कोई बड़े लीडर तो है नहीं जिनके पास सालों साल का अनुभव है।
आपके फादर का कंट्रीब्यूशन कैसा रहा है, एक्सपीरियंस कैसा रहा है? मेंटोर की तरह उन्होंने गाइड किया?
मेरे दादाजी और पिताजी दोनों ने मुझे सब कुछ सिखाया है जो उन्होंने सीखा है। दादाजी ने तो 50 साल से ज्यादा राजनीति।
देखिए, मैं समझता हूँ राहुल गांधी के प्यार को, मोहब्बत की दुकान को, हुडा के काम को, कांग्रेस की बात को लोगों ने फूल चढ़ा दिया। क्या जब कांग्रेस ही हमारे बच्चों को बचा सकती है? झूठ, छल, कपट अब नहीं चलेगा। बहन बेटी, किसान, मजदूर, नौजवान, हर आदमी राहुल गांधी के साथ खड़ा होगा। ये बड़ा परिवर्तन है। हुड्डा मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे और नेतृत्व भी उनको बनाएगा और हम भी चाहते हैं वही बने। और लहर है, आप देखना, अब लोगों के काम होंगे, अब लोगों के अच्छे दिन आएंगे, अब लोगों को नौकरी मिलेगी, नौजवान को नौकरी मिलेगी। राहुल गांधी जो कहते हैं, सच कहते हैं, ईमानदारी की लड़ाई लड़ रहे हैं। पूरा भारत उनको पसंद कर रहा है। अब कोई हराने वाला नहीं है। चाहे कुछ हो, सरकार कांग्रेस की बनेगी, ये शुरुआत है। आगे महाराष्ट्र में, झारखंड में, दिल्ली में, हर जगह कांग्रेस का परचम लहराएगा। अब झूठ का समय चला गया। देखिए, एग्जिट पोल से हम संतुष्ट नहीं। एग्जिट पोल 50-60 दिखा रहा है और मैं समझता हूँ 70 से ज्यादा सीट आएगी। पूरा हरियाणा स्वीप कर रहा है। मोदी जी को पसंद नहीं कर रहा है। मैं समझता हूँ राहुल गांधी के नेतृत्व में अब शुरुआत है। उसके राहुल गांधी के प्यार को, काम को पसंद करें, प्रियंका गांधी को पसंद करें, खड़गे साहब की मेहनत
को देखा है।
कांग्रेस हरियाणा में अब की बार हरियाणा में कांग्रेस की सरकार।
सर, आपका भी असेसमेंट होगा, सुबह से आप अलग-अलग पोलिंग स्टेशन पर जा रहे हैं। आपके मुताबिक कितनी सीटें?
नहीं, सीटें का मैं नहीं कहता, लेकिन भारी बहुमत से कांग्रेस बन जा रही है। 60 से भी ऊपर हो सकती है और जितनी भी होती है, मैं कह दूं 60 सीट आ जाए, 70, आपको ये असेसमेंट नहीं होती। असेसमेंट ये है, भारी बहुमत से कांग्रेस पार्टी सरकार बना जाए।
जो अभी तक मुझे फीडबैक मिला है, पीडीपी साउथ कश्मीर में नंबर 1 पार्टी बन के उभरेगी। सबसे ज्यादा एमएलए पीडीपी के होंगे। जो मुझे पुलवामा, शोपियान, इस्लामाबाद और कुलगाम से फीडबैक मिल रहा है, पीडीपी विल बी द नंबर 1 पार्टी।
मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि 8 अक्टूबर को जब जम्मू कश्मीर में वोटों की गिनती होगी तो शानदार जीत के साथ भारतीय जनता पार्टी जम्मू कश्मीर में सबसे बड़े राजनीतिक दल के तौर पर उभर कर आएगी और जम्मू कश्मीर में कुछ सहयोगी दलों के साथ और कुछ आजाद उम्मीदवारों के समर्थन से जम्मू कश्मीर में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार होगी।
चारों तरफ से आवाज आ रही है, भरोसा दिल से, भाजपा फिर से।
आमतौर से बब्बर शेर अकेला दिखता है, टाइगर अकेला दिखता है, यहाँ पे मतलब हजारों टाइगर एक साथ बैठे हुए हैं।
हरियाणा तीसरी बार भाजपा को मौका देने का मन पक्का कर चुका है।
मोदी जी का आपने चेहरा देखा आजकल?
Kumari Selja saying that if there was no infighting, the results in Haryana also would have been much, much better.
About like CM, Congress is going to form the government with thumping majority, and then we have a due set norm.
ये नया कश्मीर है। पहली बार दहशतगर्दी के साए के बिना ये वोटिंग हुई।
जब हम स्टेट को यूनियन टेरिटरी बनाते हैं तो अधिकारों को छीना जाता है।
This is going to be a completely hung assembly, a fractured mandate where eventually a coalition is going to be cobbled up.
एक तरफ 3 खानदान है और दूसरी तरफ जम्मू कश्मीर के मेरे नौजवान बेटे बेटियां हैं।
बोल रहे जो 317 उसको दफन किया गया है कि वो
ये तो हर चीज को दफन कर रहे हैं, कभी एक दिन आएगा ये भी दफन हो जाएगा।
Viewers, Haryana and J&K Assembly election exit polls are out. In a big blow to the ruling BJP, Haryana exit polls are predicting a Congress victory. But suspense looms large over what's going to happen in the union territory of J&K. Hello and welcome, I'm Abhishek Singh and you're watching the Hindustan Times, your election headquarters. With polling in Haryana and J&K over, face of the candidates have been seen. The voters have spoken. And now is the time for the psephologists to speak. And they have. Over the next few minutes, I will explain what are they saying. The exit polls of the Haryana Assembly elections have painted a decisive picture indicating a clear return to power for the Congress party in the state after almost a decade. In Jammu and Kashmir, the Congress National Conference Alliance is set to have an edge, but no party is likely to touch the majority mark. First up, let's talk about Haryana. Now, the two big questions that the exit polls have just come in will answer is, number one, will the BJP's two-term government in Haryana and, of course, the Chief Minister Naib Singh Saini will be able to hold
चारों तरफ से आवाज आ रही है, भरोसा दिल से, भाजपा फिर से।
आमतौर से बब्बर शेर अकेला दिखता है, टाइगर अकेला दिखता है। यहाँ पे मतलब हजारों टाइगर एक साथ बैठे हुए हैं।
हरियाणा तीसरी बार भाजपा को मौका देने का मन पक्का कर चुका है।
मोदी जी का आपने चेहरा देखा आजकल?
Kumari Selja saying that if there was no infighting, the results in Haryana also would have been much, much better.
About like CM, Congress is going to form the government with thumping majority, and then we have a due set norm.
ये नया कश्मीर है। पहली बार दहशतगर्दी के साए के बिना ये वोटिंग हुई।
जब हम स्टेट को यूनियन टेरिटरी बनाते हैं तो अधिकारों को छीना जाता है।
This is going to be a completely hung assembly, a fractured mandate where eventually a coalition is going to be cobbled up.
एक तरफ 3 खानदान है और दूसरी तरफ जम्मू कश्मीर के मेरे नौजवान बेटे बेटियां हैं।
बोल रहे जो 317 है उसको दफन किया गया है कि वो
ये तो हर चीज को दफन कर रहे हैं। कभी एक दिन आएगा ये भी दफन हो जाएगा।
चारों तरफ से आवाज आ रही है, भरोसा दिल से, भाजपा फिर से।
आमतौर से बब्बर शेर अकेला दिखता है, टाइगर अकेला दिखता है। यहाँ पे मतलब हजारों टाइगर एक साथ बैठे हुए हैं।
हरियाणा तीसरी बार भाजपा को मौका देने का मन पक्का कर चुका है।
मोदी जी का आपने चेहरा देखा आजकल?
Kumari Selja saying that if there was no infighting, the results in Haryana also would have been much, much better.
About like CM, Congress is going to form the government with thumping majority, and then we have a due set norm.
ये नया कश्मीर है। पहली बार दहशतगर्दी के साए के बिना ये वोटिंग हुई।
जब हम स्टेट को यूनियन टेरिटरी बनाते हैं तो अधिकारों को छीना जाता है।
This is going to be a completely hung assembly, a fractured mandate where eventually a coalition is going to be cobbled up.
एक तरफ 3 खानदान है और दूसरी तरफ जम्मू कश्मीर के मेरे नौजवान बेटे बेटियां हैं।
बोल रहे जो 317 उसको दफन किया गया है कि वो
ये तो हर चीज को दफन कर रहे हैं, कभी एक दिन आएगा ये भी दफन हो जाएंगे।
Viewers, Haryana and J&K Assembly election exit polls are out. In a big blow to the ruling BJP, Haryana exit polls are predicting a Congress victory. But suspense looms large over what's going to happen in the union territory of J&K. Hello and welcome, I'm Abhishek Singh and you're watching the Hindustan Times, your election headquarters. With polling in Haryana and J&K over, face of the candidates have been seen. The voters have spoken. And now is the time for the psephologists to speak. And they have. Over the next few minutes, I will explain what are they saying. The exit polls of the Haryana Assembly elections have painted a decisive picture indicating a clear return to power for the Congress party in the state after almost a decade. In Jammu and Kashmir, the Congress National Conference Alliance is set to have an edge, but no party is likely to touch the majority mark. First up, let's talk about Haryana. Now, the two big questions that the exit polls have just come in will answer is, number one, will the BJP's two-term government in Haryana and, of course, the Chief Minister Nayab Singh Saini will be able to hold on to power? Which takes us to the second question. If not, if BJP fails, that is, to win a majority on its own, how much is it going to miss the mark by? Enough to let the Congress make what will be a stellar comeback? With voting over, let's see what the exit poll numbers are predicting. Viewers, the numbers that have come in don't paint a very good picture, as I told you earlier, for the BJP government in Haryana. Now, Haryana Assembly, as you know, has 90 seats. In 2019, BJP managed to win 40 seats on its own, with Congress getting 31, JJP 10 and others 9. The total voting percentage in 2019 stood at 69%. Now, strong anti-incumbency should suggest a high voting percentage. In other words, more and more people stepping out to vote against the government in power. But as per ground reports, until 6 p.m., only 65% votes had been cast, which, by the way, is less than the votes cast in 2019 Assembly elections. And that makes what I'm about to tell you even more interesting. It completely shoots down the logic of high voter turnout in case of anti-incumbency. Because while the polling numbers are lower than last time, BJP seems to have conceded ground to the Congress. Let's talk about what are various exit polls saying. First up, the India Today C voter. As per the exit poll, BJP is all set to win between 20 to 28 seats. India Alliance is set to win between 50 to 58 seats. JJP is unlikely to open its account, and others are likely to win between 10 to 16 seats. Next, we have JIS-TTIF Research exit poll. According to this exit poll, BJP is likely to win between 29 to 37 seats. India Alliance is expected to win 45 to 53 seats. JJP, once again, is not even able to open its account. Others are likely to win 4 to 6 seats. Next, we have News 24 Chanakya exit poll. According to that, BJP is expected to win 18 to 24 seats. India Alliance between 55 to 62. JJP, again, is not even going to open its account, and others are likely to win 2 to 5 seats. Now, as for People's Pulse's exit poll, BJP is likely to win 26 seats, India Alliance 55, JJP 1 seat. This is the first exit poll so far from all the exit polls that we have seen in which JJP is being predicted to win between 0 to 1 seats. Others are likely to win 3 to 5 seats. Next up, we have the Republic Matrix exit poll. According to that, BJP is going to win 18 to 24 seats, India Alliance between 55 to 62, and the Republic Matrix poll is giving JJP 3 seats, others 2 to 5. And this is, of course, as you can see, the poll of polls for Haryana. The total number of assembly seats in Haryana is 90, and the magic figure, of course, is 46. First key battle is amongst Bhupinder Hooda, Manju Hooda, and Parveen Gustani from the Gadi Sampla Kiloi seat. Next up, we have Julana, which is where, of course, Vinesh Fogad is contesting the elections from. She is contesting against Yokesh Bairagi and Kavita Dalal. Next up, from Ladwa, we have Nayab Singh Saini, the sitting chief minister, fighting the election against Meva Singh and Joga Singh Umri. Last but not the least, Dushyant Chautala versus Brajendra Singh versus Devendra Atri. And viewers, if the results turn out to be in line with exit polls, and yes, there is an if, because you all know, while exit polls do get it right, but when they are off, they're really, really off. Here's an example, of course, the Lok Sabha elections of 2024. Now, that's unlikely to happen in Haryana, but just in case the exit polls get it right, Haryana is all set to get a new chief minister. Congress veteran Bhupender Singh Hooda is being projected as the chief minister. Hooda, as you know, has been the chief minister of the state before as well. Now let's move to the exit poll predictions for the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. And here the big question is, will the BJP, after all that it claims to have done, be able to convert it into votes and more crucially seats? Or PDP, NC and Congress will once again dominate the Union Territory as they have in the past? As per the Election Commission, the overall voter turnout in J&K stood at 63.88%. Election in Jammu and Kashmir were held in 3 phases. Phase 3 saw 69.69%, the highest voting percentage. Phase 1 polling stood at 61.3% and Phase 2 polling stood at 57.3%. Now, election in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir is being closely watched as the BJP is expected to make big inroads in the J&K, where it shared power with Mehbooba Mufti's PDP for 3 years. Jammu and Kashmir Valley put together have a total of 90 seats, out of which, after the abrogation of Article 370, Jammu now has 47 seats, while the Valley has 43 seats. Now let's quickly take a look at what various exit polls are saying. So first up, we have Access My India poll. According to Access My India, BJP is expected to win 24 to 34 seats. NC plus Congress combined is expected to win 35 to 45 seats. PDP is expected to win 4 to 6 seats, and others are expected to win anywhere between 8 to 27. Moving on, the next, of course, is the exit poll by Dainik Bhaskar. As per that, BJP is likely to win 20 to 25 seats. NC plus Congress combined again is expected to win 35 to 40 seats. PDP 4 to 7 seats, and others are expected to win 12 to 16 seats. Next up is the India Today C voter exit poll. As per that, BJP is expected to win 27 to 32 seats, NC plus Congress between 40 to 48 seats, PDP 6 to 12 seats, and others anywhere between 6 to 11 seats. Next up is News 24 Chanakya's exit poll. BJP once again is in the 20s, between 20 to 25. NC plus Congress combined is expected to win between 35 to 40. PDP between 4 to 7. Others between 6 to 12. Last but not the least, People's Pulse exit poll. BJP again is in the higher band limit here. It is expected to win between 23 to 27 seats. NC plus Congress are likely to win 33 to 35 seats. PDP between 7 to 11. And others, as you can see, between 4 to 5. This, of course, is the poll of polls. Now, as you can see in J&K, there's not going to be any clear winner, at least not as per the exit polls. The real trouble in case of BJP, however, is in Kashmir Valley, where its vote share has come crashing down to 3%, with Congress NC going up 41%. Overall, in J&K, it is big advantage for Congress and NC combined, with NC Congress combined winning anywhere between 33 at the lower end and 48 at the upper end. Now, as per reports, it is PDP which is going to lose the most. The counting of votes will take place on October 8th. So you know what you need to do. Keep watching the Hindustan Times, your election headquarters. I will join you with live coverage on the result day. Thank you for watching. Viewers, Haryana and J&K Assembly election exit polls are out. In a big blow to the ruling BJP, Haryana exit polls are predicting a Congress victory. But suspense looms large over what's going to happen in the Union Territory of J&K. Hello and welcome, I'm Abhishek Singh and you're watching the Hindustan Times, your election headquarters. With polling in Haryana and J&K over, fates of the candidates have been sealed. The voters have spoken. And now is the time for the psephologists to speak. And they have. Over the next few minutes, I will explain what are they saying. The exit polls of the Haryana Assembly elections have painted a decisive picture indicating a clear return to power for the Congress party in the state after almost a decade. In Jammu and Kashmir, the Congress National Conference Alliance is set to have an edge, but no party is likely to touch the majority mark. First up, let's talk about Haryana. Now, the two big questions that the exit polls have just come in will answer is, number one, will the BJP's two-term government in Haryana and, of course, the Chief Minister Nayaab Singh Saini will be able to hold on to power? Which takes us to the second question. If not, if BJP fails, that is, to win a majority on its own, how much is it going to miss the mark by? Enough to let the Congress make what will be a stellar comeback? With voting over, let's see what the exit poll numbers are predicting. Viewers, the numbers that have come in don't paint a very good picture, as I told you earlier, for the BJP government in Haryana. Now, Haryana Assembly, as you know, has 90 seats. In 2019, BJP managed to win 40 seats on its own, with Congress getting 31, JJP 10 and others 9. The total voting percentage in 2019 stood at 69%. Now, strong anti-incumbency should suggest a high voting percentage. In other words, more and more people stepping out to vote against the government in power. But as per ground reports, until 6 p.m., only 65% votes had been cast, which, by the way, is less than the votes cast in 2019 Assembly elections. And that makes what I'm about to tell you even more interesting. It completely shoots down the logic of high voter turnout in case of anti-incumbency. Because while the polling numbers are lower than last time, BJP seems to have conceded ground to the Congress. Let's talk about what are various exit polls saying. First up, the India Today C voter. As per the exit poll, BJP is all set to win between 20 to 28 seats. India Alliance is set to win between 50 to 58 seats. JJP is unlikely to open its account, and others are likely to win between 10 to 16 seats. Next, we have JIS-TTIF Research exit poll. According to this exit poll, BJP is likely to win between 29 to 37 seats. India Alliance is expected to win 45 to 53 seats. JJP, once again, is not even able to open its account. Others are likely to win 4 to 6 seats. Next, we have News 24 Chanakya exit poll. According to that, BJP is expected to win 18 to 24 seats. India Alliance between 55 to 62. JJP, again, is not even going to open its account, and others are likely to win 2 to 5 seats. Now, as per People's Pulse's exit poll, BJP is likely to win 26 seats, India Alliance 55, JJP 1 seat. This is the first exit poll so far from all the exit polls that we have seen in which JJP is being predicted to win between 0 to 1 seats. Others are likely to win 3 to 5 seats. Next up, we have the Republic Matrix exit poll. According to that, BJP is going to win 18 to 24 seats, India Alliance between 55 to 62, and the Republic Matrix poll is giving JJP 3 seats, others 2 to 5. And this is, of course, as you can see, the poll of polls for Haryana. The total number of assembly seats in Haryana is 90, and the magic figure, of course, is 46. First key battle is amongst Bhupinder Hooda, Manju Hooda, and Parveen Gustani from the Gadi Sampla Kiloi seat. Next up, we have Julana, which is where, of course, Vinesh Fogad is contesting the elections from. She is contesting against Yokesh Bairagi and Kavita Dalal. Next up, from Ladwa, we have Naib Singh Saini, the sitting chief minister, fighting the election against Meva Singh and Joga Singh Umri. Last but not the least, Dushyant Chautala versus Brajendra Singh versus Devendra Atri. And viewers, if the results turn out to be in line with exit polls, and yes, there is an if, because you all know, while exit polls do get it right, but when they are off, they're really, really off. Here's an example, of course, the Lok Sabha elections of 2024. Now, that's unlikely to happen in Haryana, but just in case the exit polls get it right, Haryana is all set to get a new chief minister. Congress veteran Bhupinder Singh Hooda is being projected as the chief minister. Hooda, as you know, has been the chief minister of the state before as well. Now, let's move to the exit poll predictions for the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. And here, the big question is, will the BJP, after all that it claims to have done, be able to convert it into votes and, more crucially, seats? Or PDP, NC and Congress will once again dominate the Union Territory as they have in the past? As per the Election Commission, the overall voter turnout in J&K stood at 63.88%. Election in Jammu and Kashmir were held in 3 phases. Phase 3 saw 69.69%, the highest voting percentage. Phase 1 polling stood at 61.3%, and Phase 2 polling stood at 57.3%. Now, election in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir is being closely watched as the BJP is expected to make big inroads in the J&K, where it shared power with Mehbooba Mufti's PDP for 3 years. Jammu and Kashmir Valley put together have a total of 90 seats, out of which, after the abrogation of Article 370, Jammu now has 47 seats, while the Valley has 43 seats. Now let's quickly take a look at what
we have Sumant Raman and
viewers. Haryana and J&K Assembly election exit polls are out. In a big blow to the ruling BJP, Haryana exit polls are predicting a Congress victory. But suspense looms large over what's going to happen in the Union Territory of J&K. Hello and welcome, I'm Abhishek Singh and you're watching the Hindustan Times, your election headquarters. With polling in Haryana and J&K over, fates of the candidates have been sealed. The voters have spoken. And now is the time for the psephologists to speak. And they have. Over the next few minutes, I will explain what are they saying. The exit polls of the Haryana Assembly election.
Good morning and a warm welcome to Hindustan Times. This is a live simulcast on Hindustan Times, and Mint counting day results have started trickling in for both Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir. Remember, the postal ballots are being counted first, after which the EVM machines, the votes that have been cast in the EVM machines, will be counted. I'm Paulami Saha. Over the next few hours, we will be getting you all the trends and the results as they start trickling in from Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir. Several experts and analysts will be joining us with their opinion and their sense of what the results indicate. You've heard the exit polls, but this is what will be the deciding factor for all the players in the fray, both in Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir. Let me just quickly take you through the results of the trends, the leads at the moment that are trickling in on various websites we're tracking. On Hindustan Times, of course, you can go to our website and you can also get that live tracker, which will give you a sense of the leads and, of course, subsequently, after many rounds of counting, the wins as well. For Haryana at the moment, these are just leads, viewers. It stands at 8 for the Bharatiya Janata Party and 7 for the Congress. Remember, 90 assembly constituencies in Haryana. The two big players in the fray, BJP versus Congress. There are other players as well. There's JJP, there's Aam Aadmi Party, there's the INLD as well. But at the moment, it is the BJP which is aiming for a third consecutive term in Haryana, and the Congress wanting to break that tide for the BJP. In Jammu and Kashmir, this is on Hindustan Times. You can go on our website and you'll find those leads and those trends that are trickling in at the moment. In Jammu and Kashmir, again, a 90-member legislative assembly. Currently, the leads are indicating 3 for the Bharatiya Janata Party and 1 for the NC Congress alliance. Others in the fray, of course, include the PDP. Then there is the AIP, which is Engineer Rashid's party as well. There's the People's Conference of Sajad Lone as well. On ABP at the moment, what they're saying is that in Haryana, the BJP is leading on 21 seats, Congress on 38 seats, INLD on 2, and others 2. Others are going to be extremely significant. We're going to talk more about that as well. In Jammu and Kashmir, ABP says BJP is leading currently on 11 seats, Congress NC alliance on 12, and 1 for the PDP. Others again over here, 3. That's ABP. On the India Today website, if I quickly go through that, it's saying as far as Haryana is concerned, Congress is leading with 13 seats, BJP on 15 seats, INLD 1, JJP 1. And as far as Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, here it says that the National Conference Alliance for the Congress is leading currently on 9 seats, PDP on 1, BJP on 10 seats at the moment. AIP, Engineer Rashid's party, currently hasn't opened an account as far as the leads and the trends that are trickling in are concerned. On News 18, here's what the website is telling us at the moment. Congress is leading on 29 seats in Haryana, BJP on 13, INLD on 4. INLD, I believe, is currently at 0. It's independents who are leading on 4 assembly seats. Jammu and Kashmir, News 18 is telling us that National Conference Congress Alliance is leading on 15 seats, BJP on 15 seats. Independents, again, very crucial a factor in Jammu and Kashmir. They're leading on 5 seats. And here, of course, what they've done a division. So what they're saying is National Conference is leading on 15 and Congress on 3 at the moment. So that alliance on 18 seats. So that is the brief sense that we're getting right now. Remember, it's just been a few minutes, 20 minutes since, of course, counting has begun across counting centers in Haryana and in Jammu Kashmir. Joining us right now is Sumant C. Raman this morning. Sumant, thank you so much for joining us this morning on Hindustan Times. I just went through some of the details of the numbers as they're trickling in at the moment. It's going to be extremely crucial in both in Haryana and in Jammu and Kashmir for the Bharatiya Janata Party, especially off the back of the 2024 Lok Sabha results. In Haryana, they are hoping that they can tide over the anti-incumbency wave of the last 10 years and come back to power for a third consecutive term. In Jammu and Kashmir, they hope that their gamble of 2019 pays off. Sumant.
I think that, Paulomi, Haryana is more or less a done deal. I can't see the BJP retaining power in Haryana. Haryana is going to the Congress. Now, the question is, how big is the Congress majority going to be in Haryana? I think that's the only, discussion point today. Who they would sort of pick. Most likely, Mr. Bhupinder Hooda as the chief ministerial candidate. Jammu and Kashmir is much more interesting because I think, as you can see, the BJP is sort of seeing how yesterday you saw Jairam Ramesh and a whole lot of others from the Congress putting out posts saying that, efforts were being made to sort of cobble together some kind of a government, even if they don't get a majority of their own. So I think that the important, for me, the point of interest more than Haryana is going to be Jammu and Kashmir, to see what the BJP does, because we have seen various versions of Operation Kamal in over the past several years. To know that a majority is only a technicality as far as the BJP is concerned. So, and I was told that a number of senior leaders have also been dispatched to Jammu and Kashmir to try and see, based on the results, what could be done. And even Engineer Rashid's, press conference yesterday was a little ambiguous. It was not the kind of press conference that he has given in the past. So I honestly think that there's only one result today that is in doubt, and that is Jammu and Kashmir. Haryana is going to the Congress. I mean, the question is, how big is that majority actually going to be? There's no way that the BJP is going to retain power. So that is as far as I see the position on the day. And I think that this will have a big, impact on the coming elections in Maharashtra and Jharkhand, particularly in Maharashtra.
Yeah.
If the BJP loses that, they're going to be, at least the leadership, or the leadership of the Prime Minister is seriously going to be questioned after that.
Right. Sumant, you're making some very interesting points, especially concerning Jammu and Kashmir. We'll come back to that. But let's listen in first. I'll request you to stay on. Let's listen in first to what former Chief Minister of the state of Haryana, Bhupinder Hooda, who's led the Congress's campaign in Haryana during these assembly elections, had to say last night before counting days. Okay, we'll try and play out that soundbite for you in a bit. But Haryana, Jammu and Kashmir, very interesting. But Sumant, of course, is saying that Jammu and Kashmir will be the interesting part, because obviously exit poll projections, if they are anything to go by, have indicated an edge for the National Conference Congress alliance. But there is a possibility of a hung house as well. In that case, of course, all the others are going to come into the play as well. There's the PDP, there's Engineer Rashid's party, there is the People's Conference. There are several independents who have, in fact, tried their luck in these elections as well. How successful their gambit will be, of course, we'll find out very soon by the end of today. But speaking of Engineer Rashid, Sumant, because you spoke about the very strange comment that he made, the soundbite that he made, Omar Abdullah has lashed out at it, because what Engineer Rashid, viewer said briefly, just to summarize what he said is that whoever comes to power, whoever emerges victorious at the end of the day, should hold off on forming government until statehood is restored for Jammu and Kashmir. Omar Abdullah lashes out at that and says this is exactly what the BJP wants, to extend central rule in Jammu and Kashmir, to keep extending it. 24 hours, this man goes to Delhi, and this is what he has to say, is what Omar Abdullah says about Engineer Rashid. Sumant, many are jittery within the opposition camp, if you may, in Jammu and Kashmir, about the LG's powers as well to nominate 5 legislators to the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly, and how that could, in fact, tilt the balance in the Assembly.
No, in fact, we got an idea about the BJP's level of confidence once all these kind of moves started. In fact, the attempt to sort of clip the chief minister's wings, a la what we saw in Delhi. So those are early indications that the BJP is not confident, and never mind whatever happens. But by the way, coming back to Omar Abdullah, in fact, took a pot shot at his own father yesterday when Farooq Saab actually said that irrespective of whether they won a majority or not, if they did a government, they should take on board the PDP and form a government of a united government of sort. And then Omar immediately said, PDP has not even offered us support, so I think we should hold off on such talks. And he said it publicly, virtually contradicting what his father had said a few hours earlier. So there's plenty of interesting things happening in Jammu and Kashmir. And I think that, at least as far as J&K is concerned, we should wait till the final position is clear, which would probably be, maybe 2 o'clock, 1:32 in the afternoon, for us to actually know, especially if it's a close fight. Haryana is a done deal. As I said, one of the channels is now reporting Congress is leading in 42 out of 63 seats. So I think it's all over as far as Haryana is concerned. The only issue would be the size of a majority and what happens to the other players, like those who sort of bargained hard for power, like the JJP and others. JJP is getting routed at the moment. INLD is not on the score sheet as yet. Of course, these are early leads; things could change. But at the moment, 42 out of 63 is a sweep. It's looking like a 2/3 majority for Congress.
Absolutely. In Haryana, the question will be, "Kaun banega Mukhyamantri?" Now, as soon as, of course, it becomes clearer, because that is going to be the big battle as far as the Congress is concerned. Like Sumant was pointing out, in fact, the numbers on ABP show that Congress is leading on 44 assembly seats at the moment. The BJP lagging behind on 23 seats, INLD 2, and others 4. That's the number that ABP is giving at the moment. Similarly, again, 40 plus for the Congress, 42 already on Network 18's numbers. BJP stands at 16. These are Haryana numbers that we're speaking about, viewers. On India Today, as far as Haryana is concerned, the Congress currently stands at 15, the BJP at 18, INLD on 2. So at least a couple of those have already ensure that the Congress has crossed the 40 mark, inching towards the majority mark of 46, not very far away, if anything. In fact, on ABP, as we speak right now, Congress touches the 46 mark. So it's a done and dusted matter as far as Sumant is, as far as Haryana is concerned, as Sumant has been saying as well. Question will be, "Kaun banega Mukhyamantri?" Because there are many CM hopefuls. One of them, of course, is the former Chief Minister of the state of Haryana, Bhupinder Hooda. Here's what he said last night.
कांग्रेस ने पूरे प्रदेश में अच्छा प्रदर्शन किया। 2005 से लेकर 2014 तक कांग्रेस पार्टी की सरकार थी। उस सरकार की उपलब्धियां और 14 से 24 तक बीजेपी और जेजेपी की सरकार थी, इनकी विफलताएं जो लोगों ने तोल के देख लिया। दोनों 10 साल कांग्रेस के, 10 साल इनके। और जो प्रदेश 2014 में जब अपने सरकार छोड़ी कांग्रेस पार्टी ने, प्रति व्यक्ति आय में, प्रति व्यक्ति निवेश में, कानून व्यवस्था में, नौकरी देने में और खेल खिलाड़ियों में नंबर 1 था। आज 14 से 24 के बीच में हरियाणा नंबर 1 हो गया। बेरोजगारी में, महंगाई में, कानून व्यवस्था चरमरा गई। यहाँ तक कि सोशल प्रोग्रेसिव इंडेक्स जो है, उसने भी, तो केंद्र सरकार का है, उसने भी हरियाणा को असुरक्षित बताया। और खेल खिलाड़ियों को आप देख रहे हैं, हमारी पहलवान बेटियां जिन्होंने हरियाणा का नाम दुनिया में रोशन किया, उनको न्याय अब तक नहीं मिला है। तो इस वास्ते हर वर्ग वायदा कुछ किया, कुछ वायदा किया कि 2022 तक हम किसानों की आमदनी दोगुनी कर देंगे। आमदनी तो दोगुनी हुई नहीं किसानों की, लेकिन लागत कई गुना बढ़ गई। याद करो 2014 में डीजल का क्या भाव था, खाद का क्या भाव था, कीटनाशक दवाई का क्या भाव था, कई गुना बढ़ गए। क्योंकि हरियाणा में ना तो खाद पर टैक्स था, ना कीटनाशक पर टैक्स था, और डीजल पे वेट कुल 9% के करीब था। अब डीजल पे वेट भी 18% हो गया, खाद पे भी जीएसटी लग गया और कीटनाशक दवाई पर भी, तो लागत तो बढ़ गई आमदनी घट गई। इसी प्रकार से हमने कांग्रेस पार्टी ने 4 लाख 100 गज के ब्लॉक दिए शेड्यूल कास्ट को, बैकवर्ड क्लासेस को, और 3 लाख चिन्हित कर दिए। हिल कर दिए, 3 लाख और देंगे। सत्ता परिवर्तन हुआ, रात नहीं उन्होंने स्कीम बंद कर दी, तो हम फिर से वो स्कीम शुरू करेंगे। जो गरीब आदमी को अब तो प्लॉट के साथ हम मकान भी बना के देंगे 2-2 कमरे का। इसी प्रकार से हर वर्ग व्यापारी, आप देखो आज कोई अपना को सुरक्षित महसूस नहीं करा हरियाणा में।
So that, of course, was Bhupinder Hooda. In fact, you can go to the Hindustan Times website where we've got a constituency tracker as well. So you can key in the name of the constituency and you can find out who's trailing, who's leading at the moment. So if you go to the Haryana constituency tracker and you type in Gadi Sampark Loi, which you see clearly where the state of Haryana, Bhupinder Hooda, is seeking election. He, in fact, at the moment is leading. No surprises there. He, of course, continues to be a heavyweight as far as Haryana elections are concerned. Possibly again a CM hopeful as well. At least he did get his way with the ticket distribution as far as the Congress is concerned. Tanvi Pruthi, political analyst, is also joining us this morning. Tanvi, thank you so much for joining us here on Hindustan Times this morning. I was just discussing and we were just rattling off some of the numbers on the various websites at the moment as far as Haryana is concerned. On ABP, for instance, already Congress has crossed the majority mark. It is at 47, while the BJP stands at 20 at the moment. On the India Today website, if I quickly go to that, I see that Congress leads on 25, BJP on 21, Conservative India Today at the moment. But on Network 18, for instance, again, Congress touching the majority mark of 46 in Haryana, BJP trailing behind at 19. Did you also, as you woke up this morning, know that it was going to be an easy walk for the Congress as far as these elections are concerned? The results were quite predetermined.
As far as the majority goes, I was very sure that Congress will cross the majority mark, and BJP will not be able to bag more than 20 seats. That's my number for BJP. I want to predict this morning, because the reason is that the election was very bipolar. At least on near about 70 constituencies, there was a direct fight between the BJP and the Congress. And the BJP is not just facing 10 years of anti-incumbency; they're facing people's anger. People are literally angry in Haryana because of the farmers' protest, because of the restless protest, because of the Agni Veer scheme, because of the non-performance of the Khattar government. So it was not just about this time. Prime Minister Modi's magic did not work in Haryana like it did in the last 2 elections. Jat consolidation happened in the last election as well. However, the vote got split between JJP and Congress. This time, the Jat consolidation, the Jats have put all their eggs in the Congress basket, and that is why the Congress stands very strong, because JJP will not be able to open their bank today. In fact, Mr. Dushyant Chautala will not be able to win his own seat of Ujana. He might come on number 4, forget number 2 and 3. So that's how bad position of JJP is. INLD will, of course, get a few seats in Haryana here and there, 4 to 5, and independents like Mrs. Savitri Jindal, she will definitely win her seat of SR, and a few of them, Mr. Devendra Kadyan, they 3 seats I'm very sure that independents will win. So apart from that, the fight is majorly bipolar between BJP and Congress, and it benefits the Congress more on the ground. And you were discussing about the chief ministerial candidate. So let's just say that this election was fought in the name of Mr. Bhupinder Singh Hooda, and he clearly expects his due. But I really hope that we can have a deputy CM, in the as Mrs. Kumari Shelja, because Haryana has never had a woman chief minister, and the participation of women in politics is so bad. This time Congress party has the highest number of women candidates, and that is 12 out of 90 candidates that they have listed out. Other political parties have 10, 11, just like that. So I really hope that Mrs. Kumari Shelja's coming of age as the deputy chief minister will bring that change in Haryana politics.
But, other than her being, of course, a very prominent Dalit face as well, Bhupinder Hooda, it seems, did have his stamp marked as far as the Congress's election campaign was concerned going into these assembly elections, because over 70 candidates were of Mr. Hooda's choice in these elections.
Yes, definitely. I completely agree that, that in the ticket distribution, Mr. Hooda had a free hand. This all started 2 years back when Mr. Uday Bhan, his very close confidant, was appointed as the Pradesh Congress Committee head. So, 2 years back, they started the preparation that this election will go the Hooda way. Let's be very honest about it. Mr. Dipinder Hooda has been on the ground. He did his own parallel Padyatra in Haryana, apart from Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra. So, so they have been working on their popularity. If you look at the local Haryana TV channels or even, national media and look at the polls that who is the most popular. So, Mr. Bhupinder Singh Hooda and Mr. Dipinder Hooda combined have more votes than all leaders together. So that is the kind of popularity that they enjoy in Haryana, and nobody can take that away from them. So, like I said, this election belongs to them. I don't think that the seat of chief ministership is even contended. However, I think we can make a room for deputy chief minister.
Okay, it's interesting that you mentioned Dipinder Hooda's name as well, and about the fact that he continues to be also very popular in Haryana as well. Some reports have suggested that Bhupinder Hooda Senior could possibly make way for his son and possibly pitch for his son to be made chief minister. How likely is that to you?
Not this time, I'm sure, because I think he said on India Today that nahi abhi tired hu, nahi abhi retired hu. So I don't think that he's going out this time. But yes, succession dynasty has been a very strong part of Haryana politics right from the beginning, from INLD's time, from Chautalas to Bansilal. All their legacies are contested even today. So you have the seat of Tosham where Bansilal's grandkids are contesting, one from two different children. So this has been a very important part of Haryana's politics, and I think Dipinder Hooda enjoys his popularity based on his merit. He has won his seat of Rohtak, as a member of parliament, and he's a very loved politician here. He's a young politician. I think he has a lot of time at his hand to have the chief ministership someday.
Where did you did mention obviously all of the issues that seem to have gone wrong for the BJP, be it the Agnipath scheme, be it the farmers issue, the wrestlers issue. Unemployment is on the rise in Haryana as well. Many of the youth come forward and talk about not having enough jobs as well. Where do you think the BJP's campaign faltered? They did try to stem some of it earlier in March this year when they, of course, changed the chief minister as well. Then, of course, the promise of 10% reservation for Agniveers in government jobs as well. Lateral entry, horizontal entry, as you may. All of these steps, but it wasn't enough. They did try to consolidate the non-Jat vote as well.
So, like I said, I'll answer one by one to all your points that you have mentioned regarding the vote consolidation. So this time, the vote is, not just Jat consolidation has happened. You see the Sikhs are also voting for the Congress. You see the Dalit factor, because the state has more than 20% Dalit population. They are again voting for the Congress. They have, in the Lok Sabha also we have seen that pattern. Similarly, you come to the Ahirwal belt. So these are some of the prominent communities in the Haryana region. And so Ahirwal was a very, very strong BJP stronghold. But this time we are seeing a shift of them coming to the Congress as well. So these vote banks, they have made the change.
Why is that shift happening? Tanvi?
I think mostly, I'll tell you why. 10 years back, nobody knew of BJP in Haryana. BJP never had a base. It was because of Prime Minister Modi's magic that BJP could pull out the numbers that it did in Haryana. To be very honest, now that magic is diminishing, they don't have a very strong base. They don't have leaders also. Let me tell you, 5 years back when Congress lost, or 10 years back when Congress lost, at least we knew who Bhupinder Singh Hooda was. We knew who Kumari Shelja was. We knew who Randeep Surjewala was. In BJP, you cannot count any such leaders. They have failed to make grassroots leaders. And that's because of the interference of the central leadership. When we talk about this will come to the national phase. We come with the last minute policies that Mr. Saini has promised as chief minister of Haryana, like you mentioned also. These policies might work in states like Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh, where the central leadership, the popularity of the central leadership is very, very strong, and people don't mind that whoever becomes the chief minister, they don't mind that. Here in Haryana, they are very, very territorial about their identity, about their regional identity, and they resonate with the leaders that have come from the ground, and like the proper Haryanvi vibe that they have failed to get that the Haryana's vibe. I think they've got it all wrong, because they failed to nurture leaders here. They were banking on PM Modi's popularity. It's no longer working now. Secondly, the ticket distribution. They had a very bad ticket distribution. Mr. Khattar did not enjoy. Mr. Khattar did not. He was not happy with the ticket distribution that happened in Mr. Amit Shah's office. So central leadership was giving tickets, in the state, and that went very wrong because people's concerns were not taken into account. Similarly, the RSS on ground in Haryana is not not supporting BJP's candidate because they wanted some different candidates. So they've got the entire thing wrong in Haryana from from day one.
And very interestingly, an RSS man is leading the BJP's campaign in Jammu and Kashmir. Ran Madhav back in the seat as far as BJP's campaign in J&K is concerned. So this is very interesting. The RSS is not backing, is saying, the BJP's campaign in Haryana because they wanted their own people, in the electoral fray. But in J&K, we see Ram Madhav back in the game. And how much of that pays off for the Bharatiya Janata Party, we'll find out by the end of today. Then we just stay on. We'll just quickly go through the numbers again. Here's, again, go to our website on Hindustan Times and you will get a sense of where the leads are at the moment and wins, of course, as they start trickling in, because that will come after multiple rounds of counting. But then, of course, constituency trackers as well are up, so you can get a sense of which candidate is leading where. So Dushyant Chautala, for instance, as Tanvi was predicting, is not in a good position. Probably is going to emerge as the fourth player as far as Uttan Kalan is concerned. Let's just see where that is at the moment. Okay, it says that it is awaited at the moment, so we still don't know whether he's leading, he's trailing at the moment. But in Haryana, the numbers are as such on Hindustan Times website. You can find them. As far as Congress is concerned, it is leading on 28 seats, the BJP on 26, and as far as the rest are concerned, no numbers for them at the moment. But NLD still could open its account, as Tanvi was pointing out. On ABP at the moment, it stands at about 49 for the Congress and 21 for the Bharatiya Janata Party. And on News 18, it is about 55 for the Congress at the moment and 23 for the BJP. Independents are getting about 6 seats is what News 18 is saying at the moment. On the India Today website, what we are looking at, 48 for the Congress again on the India Today website. Now the Congress seems to have crossed the majority mark of 46. BJP stands at 15 at the moment, NLD at 2. JJP at 2. Let's listen in to what the incumbent Chief Minister, Naib Singh Saini, had to say.
ऊंचाइयों के ऊपर लेकर के गए। हम विकास के मामले में भारतीय जनता पार्टी देश और प्रदेश को ऊंचाइयों के ऊपर लेकर के गई है। हमने बिना क्षेत्रवाद के ईमानदारी से हरियाणा प्रदेश का काम किया। इस बात को लोग एक्सेप्ट करते हैं। जब लोग एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी तीसरी बार सरकार बना रही है।
Okay, so that was the incumbent Chief Minister still expressing confidence that the BJP will be back for a third consecutive term in Haryana. Also, here's a soundbite from Aditya Surjewala, the son of veteran Congress leader Randeep Surjewala, who's seeking election from the Haryana Assembly constituency, 25 years old, only one of the youngest candidates in the electoral fray.
आएगी उनके, हो सकता है उससे भी कम आए, क्योंकि इस भाजपा सरकार ने पिछले 10 साल में कोई काम तो किया नहीं। लोग उन्हें वोट देना भी नहीं चाहते। हमने 2019 में भी देखा था कैसे उनकी सीटें कम हुई। इस बार तो किसान आंदोलन के बाद और इतनी ज्यादा बेरोजगारी के बाद, इतना ज्यादा भ्रष्टाचार के बाद कोई भी वोट देना नहीं चाहता। मैं जानता हूं 15 सीट से कम आएगी।
Okay, so that was Aditya Surjewala predicting that the BJP is going to get less than 15 seats in the 90-member Legislative Assembly of Haryana. So these are what the trends at the moment as they're trickling in from the counting centers. Remember, multiple rounds of counting, postal ballots first, but now, of course, the EVMs will be open as well, and counting will be underway for the votes that have been cast through the electronic voting machines as well. Remember, Jammu and Kashmir went to polls in 3 phases on September 18th, September 25th, and October 1st. Haryana went to polls on October fifth in a single phase election. High stakes battle, many prominent faces. Our guests continue to be live with us this morning. You can watch the simulcast of these conversations that we're having with our experts and analysts who are breaking down the results for us as they come in on Hindustan Times and Mint as well. Tanvi Pruthi continues to be with us. Aditya Surjewala, of course, points to the fact over there, Tanvi, that there are many young faces, scions of various families of Haryana who are in the fray in the Haryana Assembly elections, be it the Chautalas, Dushant and his brother Digvijay Singh Chautala, there's Abhay Singh Chautala, there's Aditya Surjewala, there's Bhavya Bishnoi, several of the young faces that are hoping to carry on their family's legacy. Many prestigious battles here.
Yes, definitely. So, Aditya Surjewala is fighting from Kethal and he's definitely winning. And I think he'll be the youngest MLA, in this Vidhan Sabha. And at the age of 25, I didn't even know what I wanted to do, honestly. So, and Bishnoi is, of course, they have a battle to fight. And so Bishnoi is, if we look at that, Shruti Chaudhary is also fighting. Kiran Chaudhary just left Congress party and she's joined BJP, and her daughter is fighting from the BJP ticket. So there are many in line, CM kids, deputy CM kids. So like I said, dynasty is a very important factor in Haryana. And even after this, even if we talk about merits and demerits of dynasty politics, but it's not going anywhere, it seems like. And the thing is that we keep having this discussion that whether it's good for our politics or is it bad, but people keep voting for them, and as long as people are voting for them, you can't really take that out of your political system.
Right, yeah. People keep voting for them is a point that you're making over here as well. The dynasty politics is for all to see as far as Haryana is concerned. Going by the numbers, obviously I shouldn't be calling it that soon, but it indicates towards a Congress sweep, the Congress forming a majority government in Haryana. As far as BJP is concerned, what sort of course correction would it require for the BJP to be back in the game in Haryana, Tanvi?
They'll have to start from the scratch. First of all, they will need to build their cadre again. Because they will have to work on nurturing leaders from the ground, people who are adept of Haryana's politics, people who are who can be appreciated by the people of Haryana. So Naeem Saini and both ML Khattar, both of them do not enjoy that sort of popularity in Haryana as of now. So of course there will be a lot of changes from the ground that they will have to do.
Right. The decision to change Manohar Lal Khattar, do you think that was the right decision taken by the BJP? BJP tends to do that. Not the first time that right on the anvil of a state election, they've changed the chief minister. They've done it in Uttarakhand. They've done it in Gujarat in the past as well. They've done it in Karnataka as well. That decision, do you think was the right decision? It was a gamble which made sense at that point of time?
6 months back before the elections, I don't think that made much sense to me. Had it happened at least 2 years back and you had given some time to the new elected chief minister to make some changes, to go to the ground, that might have probably helped him, because as far as I know, even his Ladwa seat, Mr. Naib Singh Saini might not win today. So even his seat is...
It is actually a tough fight that he's fighting.
There. Yeah. So if it had happened, let's say a year back or 2 years back, and he had some good time on his plate, but the damage that Mr. Khattar had caused to the party, I think that was huge to that was very difficult to overcome. And then people are also upset that you took Mr. Khattar to the cabinet, and nobody understood that why. Because you had so many BJP, there are so many young politicians, young good leaders who can be accommodated. Mr. Khattar's political career is almost over, and why did you want him in the center? Probably because Mr. Modi just want some yes men in his cabinet who will not object to what he wants to do. So apart from that, there is no logical reason why he wanted Mr. Khattar in this cabinet.
Okay. As far as Ladwa is concerned, again, we're just picking that up from our constituency tracker on the Hindustan Times website. It says that Naib Singh Saini is, of course, leading at the moment. The last time round, it was Meva Singh of the Congress party who had won from this seat. It, of course, remains to be seen because, as Tanvi was pointing out, it has been a tough contest for him. Let's take another high-profile seat. This is the seat of Julana, from where Vinesh Fogart is. these elections for the first time. She is, of course, up against many who are in the fray. There is a commercial pilot, Captain Yogesh Bairagi of the BJP. There is Amarjit Dhanda, who is the sitting MLA from the Jalana seat. He is from the JJP. There is the INLD, which is in the fray as well, which held the seat for 10 years before, of course, the JJP took it away from them in 2019. And there's the Aam Aadmi Party, another female wrestler has been introduced into the fray in Jalana as well. So a hotly contested seat at the moment. Of course, Vinesh seems to be leading, but it has not been a very easy contest for her, Tanvi.
I think it's a very safe seat for Vinesh Fogart. She will win with at least a margin of 30,000 votes, 20 to 30,000 votes. She was in a very comfortable position. It was only in the national media, who portrayed it like that it's a very tough fight and there are so many people in the fray. The day her name was announced, she had her way. And people, in Haryana, they have so much sympathy for her, you cannot even imagine. I've spoken to the people on ground, and what has happened in the Olympics and before that, wrestlers protest in the entire India, you might not find that sort of sympathy, but in Haryana especially, Mr. Bajrang Bunia and all these wrestlers, they found that empathy and that sympathy in the people of Haryana, and she will win with a very good margin in Jalana.
Okay, so you are predicting is going to win with a very good margin, 30,000 votes at least, is what you're saying as far as Vinesh's chances of this election are concerned. You're saying to enter the Haryana Legislative Assembly as well. Let's again take you through some of the numbers. At the moment, of course, in many of those numbers that we're tracking, the Congress seems to have comfortably crossed the margin, the majority mark, which is 46 in the Haryana Legislative Assembly, 62 says ABP for the Congress party at the moment in Haryana. On News 18, the Congress stands at 54. On India Today, the Congress stands at 53. Let's shift focus, Tanvi, now to Jammu and Kashmir, because as we were speaking to one of our experts earlier this morning, Sumantraman, he said that is the one to watch out for. Is it going to be a clear win for the National Conference Congress Alliance? Is the BJP going to throw the spanner in the works? Will it be a hung assembly? Will there be kingmakers who will emerge suddenly, be it the PDP, be it the AIP, Engineer Rashid's party, People's Conference, Sajad Lone, or even independents? They are going to be a huge factor in these assembly elections. I was reading a number somewhere and it said that close to about 319, if I'm not 365 independents filed nominations. And if you put together, the smaller parties, People's Conference, the Apni Party, Awami Ittihad Party, which is Engineer Rashid's party, 45% of the contestants are comprised of just these contestants alone in the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly elections, Tanvi.
Yes, and I think that, if we had this discussion a month back, probably I think we all were sure that Congress and NC is going to win this election. But, during 1 month, where the entry of Engineer Rashid into the picture and, so many independents coming out, like you said, more than 300. So that has changed the game of Jammu and Kashmir politics altogether. So now we'll have to see that, nobody is getting a majority. That's what even I feel that, Congress and NC will not get a majority and they will need the support of either the independents or the PDP. So let's see where they will go. So you have the Loans party, you have Engineer Rashid's party, you have PDP, who might end up being the kingmaker. As long as we are banking on the fact that Engineer Rashid had some influence in the Bamrole region, like because he won that constituency in the Lok Sabha. But will that influence continue in the Vidhan Sabha elections? That also we'll have to see. So because it's happening after such a long time, there is so many arithmetic involved. We'll have to see what the outcome is. But one thing is clear, as we can see from the numbers also, that BJP is very comfortable in Jammu. Kashmir, we all anticipated they might not have their way. Jammu, of course, they're getting good numbers. So if BJP is getting 20 to 30 seats in Jammu, then clearly Congress and NC are not going to get that majority, and they need the coalition of either the independents or the PDP.
You think the BJP would be bettering its number of 25 from last time round in 2014 when assembly elections were held in Jammu and Kashmir? They would better that number this time round, especially in the Jammu region, because the seats have gone up in the Jammu region. They were 37 earlier. Currently, it stands at about 43 seats.
So the reports that I studied from Jammu, people were not very happy with the BJP's performance because of the security concerns and the recent attacks that happened in Jammu and various other factors also. See, Jammu people have always felt that they've been neglected because of the pampering of the Kashmir Valley. Majority of the Hindus there also feel that way. So this time, the polarization in Jammu actually started happening when the NC made that promise of Article 370 coming back, and those kind of speculations came about. So that's when the polarization happened, and BJP got more stronger in the Jammu region. How many seats will it impact? I'm not sure, but yes, they are definitely winning around 25 to 30 seats.
25 to 30 seats is a big number, and it could become quite a bit of a deciding factor. Of course, the BJP is saying that they're not in talks with anyone, if at all they are in a position to form government. Remember, in the last time round, viewers, in 2014, in the assembly elections that were held in Jammu and Kashmir, the PDP and the BJP eventually came forward in coalition to form government. But the BJP at that point of time had spoken to both parties, had spoken to the National Conference as well, had spoken to the PDP as well, and eventually chose to go with the PDP. And then, of course, that alliance ended in 2018 with the BJP pulling out of the Jammu and Kashmir government at the moment. Subsequently, the governor dissolved the JNK Legislative Assembly. Now, as far as all of these other players are concerned, who do you think are going to emerge as kingmakers who could be key to either side forming government in Jammu and Kashmir?
Right now, I see the key in Iltija Mufti's hand, because she has become very popular in the national media also, and in Jammu and Kashmir also I keep seeing her rallies. So she is really getting good numbers there. Let's see if she holds the key. Then we'll have to see how Engineer Rashid's party performs. And everybody's alleging that he's the B team of BJP and he's come out to benefit the BJP. So we'll have to see that. And he made this recent statement also when he said that if BJP is not giving us the statehood, then we should have the president rule. So let's see. I think it's very difficult to speculate Jammu and Kashmir at the moment, because first of all, I think congratulations to Election Commission for conducting the election so peacefully in the valley. Absolutely. I think after so many years, it was very difficult, and congratulations to the people of Kashmir for coming out to vote also, in participating in this festival of democracy.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It was, in fact, the numbers stood at about a little over 63%, just a couple of percentage points lower than the turnout in 2014. But as Tanvi said, hats off to the Election Commission of India to have ensured a safe and secure electoral process for every voter who came out in Jammu and Kashmir and made his or her vote count. Of course, the results of it will be known by the end of the day today. Now, switching back across to Haryana, again, 90 legislative assembly seats. Let's take you through some of the key seats as far as Haryana is concerned, and which are those seats and the key candidates. Aditya Surjewala, we spoke about him at length. Tanvi, of course, is predicting that he will win, and he will become one of the youngest MLAs in Haryana Legislative Assembly. Remember, he's only 25 years old. Then, of course, is the old horse, Anil Vij of the Bharatiya Janata Party, contesting from his constituency of Ambala. And Arjun Chautala is contesting as well in these elections. Anil Vij, of course, continues to be a CM hopeful, but that, of course, depends on the BJP's chances in Haryana. Arjun Chautala as well from Rania, he's contesting in these elections. Remember, we've said that there are a lot of dynasts in science who are in the fray as far as Haryana is concerned. Another dark horse, Bhupinder Singh Hooda, contesting from Garhi Sampla Kiloi in Haryana. He, of course, will be throwing his hat in the ring for the chief ministerial position if the numbers that we're seeing at the moment are to hold for the Congress party. So he, of course, said, as Tanvi said, I'm not tired, I'm not retired. So clearly, he is going to be one of the leading faces as far as the Congress is concerned. There's Digvijay Chautala as well, Dushwant Chautala's brother, who is contesting from Dabavli. He, in fact, is also, one of the faces from the Chautala family who is emerging as far as the politics of Haryana is concerned. So he is also seeking election from Haryana in these legislative assembly elections. So these are some of the key faces that we're talking about as well. There is, of course, Dushwant Chautala, from Uchana Kalan, who is, of course, also seeking to be elected. He, in fact, parted ways. It's the BJP, in fact, that parted ways with the JJP at the time that the chief minister also was changed in Haryana, and the chief minister then was Naib Singh Saini. He replaced Manohar Lal Khattar in March this year. He is, of course, seeking election from the constituency of Ladwa. He is, of course, facing a very tough fight as well. So this is going to be a matter of prestige for him. Savitri Jindal is an independent who looks very comfortably positioned. She is contesting from the Hisar Assembly seat as well. Remember, the others factor is very significant in the Jammu and Kashmir elections, in the Haryana elections. Then, of course, one of the prominent faces, Vinesh Fogart, wrestler, who is contesting from Julana. She has up against her the BJP, the JJP, the INLD, the Aam Aadmi Party. They're all up against her in this contest, but currently leading from the seat of Julana. So we're going back across to Haryana as well, because if the numbers are anything to indicate, by the Congress is probably already in the huddle as to decide who will be the chief minister of the Congress from the Congress's side for the state of Haryana, because the BJP definitely looks in a place where it is not going to be able to recover from here, given the numbers, if the numbers are to go by at the moment. As far as the BJP is concerned, Tanvi, we were speaking about what may have gone wrong for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Did you think that which to your mind was possibly one of the dominant factors, because they did try some amount of course correction? Obviously, there's a lot of issues, there's a lot of baggage that they were carrying into these assembly elections. But which was the dominant factor? The consolidation of the Jat vote as far as this election was concerned, or something else?
Yeah, Jat consolidation happened last time also, and that is why their seats were reduced. Last time their narrative was ab ki baar 75 par. So like Prime Minister Modi had in 2024 general elections, ab ki baar 400 par. They had a similar slogan in 2019 Vidhan Sabha election, but that did not happen, and that was primarily because of the Jat consolidation. But the Jat vote got split between JJP and Congress. So JJP was a very emerging, party at that point of time, and Dushyant Chautala had just broken up with INLD, and he was a very promising leader. But then he ended up joining hands with BJP, and then Jats got very disappointed from him also. So that is why this time, the Jats of Haryana are actually trying to teach them a lesson together, that even JJP, will not do well in this time. So, and the reason for Jat consolidation that happened was because of the farmers' protest. So had farmers' protest not happened, I don't think that BJP would have been in the soup that they are today. Because of the farmers' protest, and because how indifferent the attitude of Khattar government was during that protest, with the farmers, with the people who were protesting, how the water cannons were used on them. So all that the anger that has accumulated, and then secondly, the most important factor, that nobody can ignore is the non-performance of Mr. Khattar. People were just not happy with him. He was not there to meet the people. People were actually disappointed कि उनके ऑफिस भी जाओ तो कोई मिलने ही नहीं देता है, कोई बात ही नहीं करने देता है, वो कोई काम ही नहीं सुनते हैं. So if you look at his constituency also, the people are not happy. So like that, because of these factors, I think BJP lost, and because there were no leaders, where people could go. So they have failed to nurture leaders on the ground. आपके पास इस टाइम पे कोई भी फेस नहीं है बीजेपी के पास कि अगर फिर से उनको फ्रॉम दिस लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन भी कौन बनेगा विधानसभा में, ये भी वो लोग डिसाइड नहीं कर पाएंगे, मतलब मार्क माय वर्ड्स. तो इतना प्रॉब्लम है वहां पे लीडरशिप क्राइसिस. सो दैट इज these are some of the problems that people have pointed out, and that is why they are voting them out this time.
What about the JJP? What about Dushyant Chautala? Do you think that this election is going to deal a body blow to him as far as his existence is concerned, and he'll have to work his way back up again all the way?
Yes, definitely. He'll have to do a lot of course correction. He is very promising. He is very young. He has a lot of time on his hand. So I think that he will be able to he will probably one day be the chief minister of Haryana, probably 10 years down the line or 15 years down the line. But this election, people just want to teach him a lesson, and that is why such numbers are happening.
Okay. Then we stay on with us. Let's cut back across to Jammu and Kashmir. Let's listen to what Engineer Rashid said, which has turned out to be a very controversial soundbite as well. Omar Abdullah has hit out at him as well. Of course, Omar was defeated by Engineer Rashid. But here's what Engineer Rashid said.
ये होगा कि इक़्तिदार आता है जाता है, पावर कोई परमानेंट चीज नहीं है। जब भी कोई इक़्तिदार में बैठता है, सिंहासन में बैठता है, उसको लगता है कि मैं कभी छूटूंगा नहीं। यही रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा हाथ जोड़ के कि मेहरबानी करके जम्मू कश्मीर एक साधारण स्टेट नहीं है। एक तरफ पाकिस्तान है, चाइना है, इंडिया है, बाकी लोग हैं, दुनिया की नजरें इस पर हैं, स्टेट एक्टर्स हैं, नॉन स्टेट एक्टर्स हैं। कश्मीर के लोगों पर कृपया कीजिए, उन्हें जीने दीजिए, उन्हें सांस लेने दीजिए, उनके अधिकार दीजिए, उनको इंसान समझिए। इसको हिंदू मुस्लिम मत बनाइए, इसको आप एक मानवता की हैसियत से देख लीजिए। और कश्मीर का जो मुद्दा है, जैसे इंडिया क्लेम करता है पीओके पर, पाकिस्तान क्लेम करता है इस इंडिया पर, जो भी करना है, अगर जयशंकर जी इस्लामाबाद गए हैं तो सिर्फ दौरे के लिए न जाएं, दुनिया को धोखा न दें। मैं शंघाई कॉन्फ्रेंस के लिए गया, पर्दे के पीछे जो हो रहा है कुछ अच्छा करें, जैसे यहाँ शांति का वातावरण हो और उन मुद्दों पर इलेक्शन लड़ा जाए जहाँ डेवलपमेंट की बात हो, एजुकेशन की बात हो, बाकी चीजों की बात हो। लेकिन जब मारा मारी हो, जहाँ अपसफा लगा हो 35-37 साल से, जहाँ 1 लाख लोग कब्रों में सोए हों, जहाँ कश्मीरी पंडित बाहर हों, जहाँ करना, कैरन, उड़ी, मत्सल के हजारों फैमिलीज पाकिस्तान भाग गए हों, वहां आप सियासत की क्या बात करेंगे। इसलिए मेरी सबसे गुजारिश होगी, जो भी सरकार बनाए, लेट देम become bridges between people of Jammu and Kashmir and New Delhi, so that our sufferings come to an end and people live with honor, dignity and self-respect.
Okay, so that is what Engineer Rashid said. His soundbite, to a larger extent, indicated that whoever is elected to form government in Jammu and Kashmir should wait for the restoration of statehood for Jammu and Kashmir before they take any further step. Now, this has stoked a lot of those, including former Chief Minister of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, earlier erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir, Omar Abdullah, who said that this is exactly what the BJP wants. He's speaking like the BJP to extend the rule, the central rule over Jammu and Kashmir. So just to quickly take you through the numbers, Ashish Ranjan is also joining us at the moment. Good morning to you, Ashish. He's the data analyst. He's traveled in Jammu and Kashmir. He'll give us a bigger picture of what were the key factors at play in the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly elections. But before that, let me just take you through some of the numbers very quickly as far as Jammu and Kashmir is concerned. If you go to the Hindustan Times website, what we'll tell you right now at the moment is that we're hearing that the JKN Plus, which is basically the National Conference and Congress Alliance, is leading on 25 seats, BJP on 24, PDP on 2, others 2. That's what the Hindustan Times website will tell you. If you look at ABP at the moment, it will say that the alliance between National Conference and the Congress is leading on 45, BJP 28, PDP 5, and others 12. 12 is going to be extremely significant. India Today will tell you that as far as Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, the National Conference Plus, National Conference Congress Alliance is leading on 46 seats, PDP on 5, BJP on 28 at the moment, clearly better than its last performance. Last time it stood at 25 in the 2014 Assembly elections. And on News 18, if I quickly glance through that, it says that the NC is currently at 36, BJP on 27, and the independents are at 11 at the moment. And it says that the Congress stands at 9 at the moment. So if you count NC and the Congress, obviously way ahead of the Bharatiya Janata Party, the BJP already doing better, of course, as far as his past performance is concerned. Ashish is joining us this morning. Ashish, good morning to you again. What were the key factors at play in Jammu and Kashmir? Many of our experts are telling us Haryana was a known scenario and a known case. We knew what was going to happen over there. It was very clearly indicative on the ground which way the wind is blowing. But Jammu and Kashmir could throw up a surprise. What were the key factors at play on ground, Ashish?
Thanks, Polly. So if we think about the Jammu Kashmir, we will have to think two separate and very distinctive regions within a state. So when I say this is a clear-cut indication that the Jammu region and especially the Valley region have two different cultural and political significance of that. So the number you are showing, you are giving us, it's clearly indication that in the Valley region, the NC National Conference and Congress alliance are doing very well. But at the same time, in Jammu region, BJP is doing well. So, and this is not the new phenomena, because after the delimitations and after especially the abrogation of 370 and 35A in 2019, Jammu Kashmir has been going some different phenomena, different dilemma, and the dilemma is they just not lost the statehood, but also they got some additional, additional kind of suppression of the freedom of speech and other kind of things. So when, especially in Valley region, because I have traveled in this region, I got 3 cents, and these 3 cents are very region. The one is, of course, in terms of development, there are people will tell you that lots of infrastructure development happened during the LG rule. So roads has been connected very well. Also the administrative accountability. So through the GPS and all other the thumb impression kind of things, so people are happy. But at the same time, people are very unhappy with the central government, especially the LG rule. And the reason is very simple. So due to 370 and 35A, the Kashmir people had certain privilege of, the being a statehoods. They had a privilege of jobs, additional jobs and educational institutions, security, and also nobody can buy the land. And it was just fixed for the local indigenous people. Now they lost this kind of thing. So even in Jammu region, when you see people are happily voting for the BJP, but they are not very happy with the abrogation of 370. So what I'm telling, what I want to say, that's in Jammu, where you will see the BJP has been doing tremendously very good, but in Valley they are doing very bad. However, in Kashmir region, there are multiple players. So National Conference, BDP, Engineer Rashid's party, Sajad Lone's party, and Altaf Bukhari's Apni party, and Jamaat-e Islami. Please remember that Jamaat-e Islami has been contesting this election after 35 years. They have been boycotting this election. So this election is also special in terms of that there was no boycott in this time. So that has increased the enthusiasm among the people to come and vote. To whom they will elect, that's a different question, and that have a many dichotomy. So, for example, so if you will talk to the people wanted Engineer Rashid. They have in Lok Sabha election 2024, Engineer Rashid won, and he defeated Umar Abdullah and Sajad Lone, both the stalwart leader of the state. But this time, because after the timing of his release, people got some dilemma that they might be thinking that Engineer Rashid might be a proxy of BJP. What is the truth? We don't know. Basically, the Engineer Rashid and other political leaders know better than us. But the NC, who has been in a weak position for last 10-15 years, suddenly gaining much than the other party in Valley region. And that we can see the complete polarization, the bipolar contest between the BJP and NC alliance. However, PDP and the Engineer Rashid party, Apni Bukhari, they might get few seats.
Okay, Ashish, stay on with us. Obviously, you've done a better analysis in terms of certain parts of South Kashmir, Central Kashmir as well. As far as the tribal districts and seats are concerned as well. I want to speak to you about that as well. But let's listen in to what the former Chief Minister of the state of erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir, the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, now Omar Abdullah, said he's contesting, remember, from 2 constituencies, Badgaon and Ganderbal. Listen in to Omar Abdullah.
ना हमने उनका कोई तजवीज़ ढूंढा, ना उनके तरफ से कोई तजवीज़ हमें मिली है। आज नतीजे निकल जाने दीजिए ना। पता नहीं क्यों हम इतने बेचैन हैं कि इन्होंने क्या किया, उन्होंने क्या किया। अभी किसी के पास नंबर नहीं है।
सुना था महबूबा जी ने कहा वी आर रेडी टू प्रोवाइड सपोर्ट इफ नीड।
नहीं ना, वो नहीं कहा। जो मैंने सुना वो ये कहा कि हमने कोई फैसला नहीं किया है और हम नतीजों के बाद फैसला करेंगे। पता नहीं हमारे तरफ से इतनी बेचैनी क्यों है कि हम फटाफट कूद जाते हैं और कहते हैं ना कि हम जी बस उनके समर्थन का खैर मकदम करते हैं। उनका समर्थन ना हमने मांगा, ना वहां से मिला, ना फिलहाल उसकी कोई जरूरत है। नतीजे निकल जाने दीजिए, उसके बाद तमाम पार्टियां जो है बैठ के उन पे जो है अपना वो करेंगे एनालिसिस।
Okay, so that's Omar Abdullah. Sounds a bit edgy at the moment because he clearly knows the numbers could go either way, where he could be in a situation where he'll probably need the support of others to be able to form a government in Jammu and Kashmir. Chetan Chauhan, national editor of the Hindustan Times, is also joining us this morning. Good morning to you, Chetan. You know, that was a reaction to reports coming in that the PDP has extended support to the NC Congress alliance. Of course, if they keep in mind what the people of Jammu and Kashmir want in terms of restoration of statehood for Jammu and Kashmir. Farooq Abdullah, his father, said, you know, even if we don't need it in terms of numbers, we will accept the support of anyone who joins forces and cause with us. Omar Abdullah reprimanded his father on X, saying nobody has contacted us, nobody has extended any support. Why are we jumping to conclusions? Exactly what he said in that soundbite as well. How do you see and read the J&K numbers at the moment?
You know, as of now, it appears that NC Congress, in the early trends, is heading towards a clear majority. May not be a comfortable majority, but they're heading towards a clear majority. At the end of the day, I see them close to 50-51 seats, which will be a clear majority in case the 5 MLAs or the 5 members are nominated by the Lieutenant Governor, which would increase the majority mark to 40. Then they will have a slender majority of 2 or 3 seats. But as of now, it appears that they're heading towards a clear majority mark above 50, I think. But I think to be on the safer side, the NC Congress will like PDP to be on their side because they were part of the Gupkar alliance, and for the last 5 years they have been together. For the elections, because of the electoral mathematics in the valley, they parted their ways. But I think in the government, the PDP will not do the same thing that to support the BJP as they did in 2014, which proved politically fatal for them again now. So I think the PDP will go with the alliance government of NC and may even participate if, in case Farooq Abdullah or the senior leaders ask them. But as of now, to me, it appears that the NC Congress alliance is heading towards a majority. In
Okay.
Kashmir, in Jammu region, one has to see that the BJP has done well in the number terms, but we have to see the vote share. To me, it appears that the vote share of the BJP, as compared to 2014 and latest 2024 Lok Sabha elections in the Jammu region, will come down. There was discontent against the BJP among the Jammu population, but they will clear the numbers. They will be the largest party in the Jammu, but the vote share, I think, will be less than as compared to the previous elections.
Chetan, just because you know you have the experience, clarify this for us. What is the majority mark in Jammu and Kashmir? 46 or 48?
As in the assembly, it is 46 is the majority mark because the elections happen for 90 seats. So today, the majority mark is 46 because 90 members elections will be announced today. So as of now, it is 46. But when the assembly is notified and the LG nominates 5 members, the majority mark, because they have the voting rights, the majority mark will increase to 48.
Right.
So it depends on when he nominates. LG can nominate him later also.
But there is a fear it could be imminent. It could be happening
As
any
of
moment.
now, the changes which have been made in the rules, giving the powers to the Home Ministry and the LG to nominate, with the elected government having no power even to recommend the names of nominated members, it appears that as soon as the assembly is notified, before the first session, the 5 members will be nominated by the LG, and that will increase the majority mark because they have voting rights. But in some other UT like Puducherry also, the nominated members have the voting rights, but the elected government has a role to play in nominating the members. Their recommendations are taken into consideration, but in Jammu and Kashmir, we'll have to see whether the recommendation of the elected government is considered by the LG and the Home Ministry before nominating.
Yeah, actually, that is something that the NC, the Congress, are not very. That should be the way that the recommendation of the elected government is taken into consideration, but they're not very sure about
in
it.
a democratic setup, the elected government should have sway.
Yeah.
It is a union territory. The Home Ministry, the LG will have ultimate powers to accept or reject what the elected government says, because that is how rules for Jammu and Kashmir has been framed, which is quite similar to Delhi uh, and Puducherry also, but quite similar to Delhi. The LG has a lot of powers, but unlike Delhi, the land and the police, the state government will have control over it, limited control over it, but it will have control. So there is a difference between Jammu and Kashmir UP and the Delhi UP. It is similar to Puducherry in some ways and similar to Delhi in some ways. So it is a hybrid model for Jammu and Kashmir that the central government has proposed as the UP is for a UT administration. So LG will have a power and the state government, elected government will have truncated powers. They will have to rush to the LG for every decision. That may be a biggest stumbling block for the new government, because in case the NC Congress comes into power, they have been in power earlier also, they will file a totally different administration, different rule of governance, which have been notified. Even the transfers, the government will not have absolute powers to transfer officials from one position to another. The LG will have the final role to play. I think in July or August, the government notified new rules in which the power was given to LG.
Right, right. Interesting. We will, of course, continue to speak about Jammu and Kashmir. Let me just again quickly take you through some of the numbers on the Hindustan Times website, viewers. If you just go, you can obviously get a sense of where candidates stand at as well. So, for instance, I'm looking at Ganderbal right now, from where Omar Abdullah is contesting. He's leading in Ganderbal. If I go to the second constituency from where he's contesting, Bargam, Omar Abdullah is leading. Another prominent face in these elections, Iltija Mufti, daughter of former Chief Minister of the state, Mehbooba Mufti. Iltija at the moment is contesting, as you know, she's contesting from the Bij Bihara seat. Let's find out what it says over there. Okay, it says very interestingly that Bashir Ahmed Shah Viri of the JK and the JK National Conference is currently leading from the said constituency. Let's find out about Kupwara, from where People's Conference Chief Sajad Lone is contesting. In fact, it says that the PDP contestant in the frame, Mir Mohammed Fayaz, is leading from Kupwara at the moment. Just take you through the bigger numbers, the bigger picture. It says that as far as leads are concerned, the NC Congress alliance currently stands at 37, BJP at 27, PDP at 2, others at 4. If I look at the ABP website at the moment, as far as Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, 22 for the BJP, 53 for the National Conference Congress Alliance, 4 for the PDP, others stand at 11 at the moment. On India Today, it says that NC Congress Alliance stands at 45, PDP 5, BJP 33 at the moment, and others at 5. On the News 18 website, it says NC stands at 45 and the Congress at 8. So 45 plus 8 for the Alliance, BJP at 22, Independence at 10. Ashish, I'll come back across to you because you traveled certain parts of it, and I was speaking about some of the tribal seats as well. 9 ST seats in these elections. What is the sort of trend that you picked up in terms of what the voting pattern was, especially because of the BJP has been reaching out to these communities on the ground ahead of these assembly elections. What did you pick up, Ashish?
Thanks, Pallavi. That's an interesting question. So please remember that before this delimitation, Jammu Kashmir did not have ST reserved seats. Even within the community, so Bakarwal and the Gujjar, these are the two major communities who have the ST status. So in 2020, the current incumbent government, of course the LG rule, they have notified PSP, Pahari speaking people, 4% reservation to them based on economic criteria, that means the creamy layer kind of thing. But when the delimitation process over in 2022 and 9 seat was reserved for the ST, then suddenly the demand for the Paris speaking people, which was the long due, they have increased their fight because they thought that's now only the Gujar and Bakarwal will get the benefits and we will be marginalized more. So they initiated the report, and then the LG, the incumbent government, accepted that day, and March 2024 they have given them 10% ST reservation within the ST category. So now the game is two very interesting things. So the PSP, Pari speaking people, or these people got the ST status. The Pahar, I mean, in the valley region there are lots of Pahar, but not all the Pahari people get the benefits of this reservation. However, in the district of Poonch and Rajouri, they have got the reservation status. So, despite of any caste, class, all the people who are living in the Rajouri and Poonch, especially in the Pari, they have to produce the domicile and certain certificate from the Patwari. They are the beneficiary of this ST status. So please remember that in this region, not only the Hindu, but the Muslim are in the majority number. Hindu has a significant number, also the Sikh community. So all within the Hindu, Muslim, Sikhs and upper caste versus lower caste all got the ST status who are living in that thing. So after this declaration, so it would be surprise for the mainline electoral politics that in Rajouri and Poonch, especially, you will see that many of the Muslim voters might have voted to the BJP. And the reason is very simple. As the voter told us while we were doing the field work, that since BJP has given us something, because 10% reservation for the, apart from the seat reserve, they got the 10% reservation in jobs and the educational institution. So they got the benefit and they said, it's our duty to give back to them. So while there was 13, 14, 15% vote share for the BJP in the last election, this time they might get more. And for example, like student court in Poonch. So BJP is the candidate who has died, passed away a few days back. Is the I forget the name, but he is a NC Turncoat, a National Conference Turncoat, and is a big leader of the Pahari speaking people. So he switched to the BJP and he has a very good chance. I don't know whether he will win or not, but he is in top 2 position, and I might not be surprised that if he wins the election. However, he is passed away. So what I'm saying is, due to this ST status, BJP has been gaining some benefits in the case of Rajouri and Poonch. This is the one thing. The second thing, what the other parts happened, that since Pari speaking people got the benefit of ST, initially the Gujar and Bakarwal thought that they might lost the the reservation seats or the number of seats. However, state government, the LG government clarified that this is the additional 10%. But please remember that Pari speaking also got the ST status in the central region. So how the Bakarwal and the Gujar, however, is a NC supporter for a long time due to this Mia Altaf and his father. So the NC Congress alliance and especially the onset got more consolidation among the Gujar and the Bakarwal. However, the other Pahari speaking people, the BJP has been a gainer.
Okay. Ashish, thank you so much for breaking that down for us as far as how the tribal constituencies have voted in these assembly elections. Chetan, coming back across to you, when we're looking at the numbers of others, independence is also quite significant. If you look at these numbers right in front of us, 11 on the ABP, on the News 18 website for the independence in Jammu and Kashmir. Already, Ravinder Rana, who is of course contesting from Nowshera, has said on the eve of the results day the BJP will form a government with the support of independents. But the independents had played a key role as far as these elections are concerned. Several of them in the electoral frame, many being backed by the Jamaat-e-Islami as well, which has now boycotted the assembly elections for the first time in over 3 decades. How do you see the role that these independents and others will be playing?
You know, in Jammu and Kashmir, I think this is the first time so many independents are winning or ahead. Normally, it used to be a bipolar contest between PDP and NC, the Kashmir Valley. So the emergence of the independents is also an indication that the voters are slightly disillusioned with the two mainstream parties in the valley to a large extent. Uh, Omar Abdullah is contesting from 2 seats. Ganderbal was his traditional seat. So clearly showed that how edgy he was. He was not sure that he will win from Ganderbal. So he went to Budgam, which was a safer NCC, considered an NCC. But in the formation of the government, it all depends on the numbers. If there's a hung assembly, then the independents will have a very important role to play. And they can, some of them can go and give some sort of outside support to the BJP. For few, the participation in the government, if in case the BJP stakes claim, would be difficult because in the valley, the sentiment is against the BJP. So it will be difficult. But in the past, independents who have won in the assembly, like Rashid Engineer and others, Rashid Engineer was an MLA for, I think, 2 or 3 terms in the Jammu and Kashmir assembly when it was a state. He had supported the incumbent NC government then also. So for him, not going against the incumbent government, would his party, it will be difficult. Jamaat-e-Islami has backed large number of independents. So it will, because independents can decide on their own. They are not governed by a whip. They cannot join a party because it is defection. It is considered defection. But they can go by their own conscience. So it will be very difficult to say whether all of them will join BJP because it is not a group. It is not a consolidated group. Apart from Jamaat, independent candidates are also contesting in large numbers in Jammu and Kashmir. Some of them, as per the trends and as per the indication from the ground, were doing well. They were expected to win also. So it will be a mix of independents. So saying that all the independents will support in case there is a hung assembly, will support BJP, I think will be difficult. But as of now, the numbers what will indicate that such a scenario will not happen.
It will not happen.
Because the trends are showing that 48 to 50 for Congress NC alliance, 5 to PDP. So with 55, it will be a comfortable number for them. And I want to also emphasize that how this Lok Sabha election, how this assembly election is different from Lok Sabha elections. In Lok Sabha election in the Kashmir Valley, a large number of votes, the Rashid Engineer won. The independents or the people who were not part of NC, Congress or PDP got a good number of votes. They were a sympathy for them. Like in case of Rashid Engineer, his family clearly said that if he doesn't win, he will be hanged. So that created a fear. And with that fear, people voted for him. But 4 months down the line, with his release from the jail for elections, a different signal went to people in Jammu and Kashmir. And also, NC is the only party in the Kashmir Valley which is cadre-based. So cadre was really rejuvenated this time, though it was facing some sort of a backlash from people that when we were in distress, did not come out. But with the cadre-based party, always give a strength to a political party. Like BJP is a cadre-based party. So in Jammu, to fight BJP is very difficult because it's a cadre-based party. It has excellent booth management system, which in Kashmir Valley is the case for NC. It is, if you see the structure, many people will say it's something, the booth management, the structure of NC is similar to BJP in the Kashmir Valley. So that's why I think the scenario in the assembly election slightly changed as compared to the Lok Sabha polls. It is very early to look at the vote share trends because less than 5% votes have been counted. But I think as the day passes, we will see that NC has done well as compared to Lok Sabha elections in terms of vote share. So because vote share indicates whether what the people thought, and the strategy to divide the NC vote by putting up so many independents, putting up smaller parties, Altaf Bukhari, Rashid Engineer, Jamaat, other independents may not have succeeded to the level people would have thought that it will succeed. Though the numbers as of now is 10 and 11, most exit polls gave 15 to 18 seats to independents, mostly from the Kashmir Valley.
Yeah.
The exit polls. So as of now, the trend shows that the exit poll number is not coming to be true.
Right.
It is slightly on the lesser side.
Yeah.
And also on the numbers for NC and Congress, the exit poll gave them 45, 46, 40 to 46 seats. The early trend shows that they are doing slightly better than the exit poll numbers.
Right. Right.
But I will also like to discuss Haryana.
Yeah, of course.
Which is
We'll just play out one soundbite from Omar Abdullah before we switch to Haryana. Of course, we have to go to Haryana because Congress seems to have very comfortably crossed the halfway mark in Haryana. No surprises there, as most of our experts have been telling us since this morning. But let's just listen in to Omar Abdullah contesting from both Badgaum and Ganderbal. Let's listen.
वकीलों ने अपनी राय दी है. हमारे एक वकील जिन्होंने नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस की भी, वो लद्दाख के मामले में आपको याद होगा सुप्रीम कोर्ट में हमारे लिए कामयाबी हासिल की. उन्होंने कहा है कि गवर्नर साहब को अपने आप पे कोई इख्तियारात नहीं है कि वो ये सीटें भरें. ये सीटें अगर भरी जाएंगी तो असेंबली कायम होने के बाद और हुकूमत की जो राय है, पार्लियामेंट में भी यही होता है. प्रणब मुखर्जी साहब प्रेसिडेंट थे, कांग्रेस के बने हुए प्रेसिडेंट थे, लेकिन जब नॉमिनेशंस किए तो मोदी साहब की हुकूमत के राय के मुताबिक किए, कांग्रेस के उन्होंने मेंबर नहीं चुने. तो इसी तरह बेशक गवर्नर साहब मरकज की हुकूमत के यहाँ नुमाइंदे हों, लेकिन उन्हें आईन का ख्याल रखना चाहिए. और ये 5 सीटें अगर भरी जाए तो यहाँ की हुकूमत जो बनती है आज, उसकी राय के मुताबिक.
Okay, so that was, of course, Omar Abdullah commenting on the possibility that the Lieutenant Governor could soon enough nominate 5 members to the Legislative Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir. He's saying that it should be with the recommendation of the elected government of Jammu and Kashmir, as Chetan was in fact explaining to us earlier. Shifting focus now to Haryana as well. Let me quickly take you through the numbers before, of course, I take it to our guests as well to decode that for us. So if you go to the Hindustan Times website at the moment, it will tell you that the Congress seems to be leading on 49 seats, comfortably past the halfway mark of 46. And as far as BJP is concerned, it stands at 28 and others at 5. On the ABP website, if you catch the results that are trickling in over there, at least the leads at the moment, it says that BJP stands at 35, the Congress at 47, INLD at 3 and others at 5. That's the Haryana number as far as ABP is concerned. On India Today's website, you will see that it says that as far as Haryana goes, the Congress currently comfortably placed at 49, BJP 37, INLD 1, JJP 0, nil, others at 3. And on the News 18 website as well, which we're tracking at the moment, just to get a sense of where they stand. We'll try and get you those numbers as well. I'll pull that up very quickly. But yes, Congress seems to have comfortably crossed the majority mark in Haryana. Many saying no surprises over there. Is it now just down to kaun banega Mukhyamantri?
No, it will be kaun banega Mukhyamantri. But the early trends is a good news for BJP in terms that many people in exit polls also projected that BJP will be getting around 30 seats. But getting 37 seats for BJP is a good number, because last assembly elections they won 40 seats, just 3 less than the previous number. Is an extremely good performance as of now from the early
Despite
trends.
10
years of anti-incumbency, despite the BJP having to change the chief minister,
Hmm.
despite the former chief minister Khattar, who was there till February, March, not actively campaigning in Haryana. Despite that, the BJP has really done well. But we will have to see the region-wide analysis where the BJP has done well. To me, from the early trend, it appears that BJP has been able to withhold their traditional areas of urban areas, the Punjabi belt in Jamnagar, Ambala, North Haryana,
Mhm.
and also parts of South Haryana, like Faridabad, Gurgaon, and that part. So the BJP's performance as of now is surprisingly well for me.
Okay.
The Congress numbers are not very good because there were a lot of incumbency. If you see the Lok Sabha elections, the vote share of the Congress was very close to the BJP. It was expected that it will really go up, and the difference between the vote share of the Congress and the BJP will be high. But from the early trend, it appears that the difference is not very high. The hype created over the incumbency in rural Haryana against the BJP, it appears, is not working so much in the favor of Congress. So there are a lot of questions the Congress will have to answer, that
Mhm.
after huge anti-incumbency in the BJP, why they have not been able to perform to the expected numbers.
Right. Ashish, do you agree with that? That the BJP seems to have done surprisingly well for itself, despite all the reports that we heard from the ground leading up to these assembly elections, the tenure, anti-incumbency, and all the other factors, be it the Agnipath scheme, the wrestlers issue, the farmers' protest. The BJP, despite all of it, seems to have done quite well.
Partly I agree on this, but please remember, in terms of number, look at it. In the morning at one of the channels, I say that whatever the result, the outcome will be, but please remember the Congress will start from the 40% vote share and BJP will start from 35% vote share. Why I say this? And this is very clear that after a long time, the Congress has been able to get the Jat consolidation votes. So there is a three community where while I was traveling in Haryana, I got the Jat, the Jatav, and the Muslims. These three communities are around 40% vote share of electorates of the Haryana. So Congress has a strong base on this. On the other side, BJP has been in the last 10 years, and after giving the non-Jat CM, uh, among the OBC, BJP has consolidated a strong vote base. Whether you say it's Hindutva vote or whatever they say, that's a different thing. But actually, on the ground, they have created a non-Jat consolidation. So, especially in lower OBC, and Valmiki and Dhanak among SC after the Supreme Court verdict on the creamy layer kind of thing. The speculation, the Valmiki and Dhanak among the SC thoughts think that the BJP government has been doing good because all the benefits of the reservation has been going to the Jata community. So what I'm saying, so it's a complete bipolar elections and it's a complete bipolity. I mean, within the society, there is a clear-cut division among between the Congress and the BJP. While the Congress is getting Jat, Muslims and Jatab, the other hand, BJP has been doing very good among the OBC and states, especially the refugee states who are in the Karnal near the Karnal districts and other this region, and also the lower lower OBCs and the SCs are especially very had seen the exploitation of the Jat dominance or something like that. So they are especially with the BJP. So what the number? Forget about the seats. It might be 55 or 50 or 60. There is three things is very clear. One is the caste polarization within the Haryana society. It happened after a long time. Usually, before that, INLD and Congress has been a dominant player, and they have been the Jat were both the sides. But this time, after not having in power dominance in the state's corridors, the Jat thinks that the Congress is a space where they can sense their power and the dominance against in the state. The second thing, what I'm seeing, it's Jat is not a simply in a significant in terms of number. They have around 22 to 23% in the state, but they are also influential in terms of educationally, socially, and economically. So lots of lower ABC and SC people are dependent on because they have been working on the Jat's land. So that community is also influential to to catch other 10 to 15 to 20% vote share. So this thing, and the third thing, what I'm thinking after 30 to 35 years in the post 90s era, when we have been seeing the rise of regional parties and their dominance, Haryana, the first times in 35 years, will see the decline of regional parties massively. While I think that even in the last time INLD declined, but the JJP emerged. But this time, the INLD, JJP, all will be very marginalized. The main player will be the clear-cut BJP and the Congress. And Congress has a certain age due to the Jat anger, whatever you say, the Jawan, Kisan and Palwan anger. And also the anti-incumbency, because one person told me, even the BJP supporter in Panipat, that's two things lacking in the government. One, ठीक है, किसानों को 6,000 देते थे, 12,000 देते थे, बट गरीबों को क्या मिला? जिसके पास जमीन नहीं है उसको पैसा देना चाहिए था सरकार को. So one thing that they also think the government has been giving to the more affluent community. That sense also that they are very against about the Jat. The second thing people say, the government should work on the inflation. So if they महंगाई कम होगी तो गरीब benefited होंगे. So people, even the BJP supporters, they think that the government failed on the inflation. And the third and last thing, which is very unique, and it is not limited to the Haryana but the other state as well. After the emergence of Modi in 2014 at the central level and the dominance of the BJP, party has become more centralized. So when party become more centralized, the role of MLA and MP has been reduced. So you will see many of the MLAs or the representative or the candidates of the BJP, they thought in the name of Modi, they will get the benefits of the votes and the benefit support of the people, which is not true. Haryana is a state where the MLA and MP have a good relation with the people. So even in some other people says that the MLA are not accessible. So these two things, the inflation and the accessibility of their representatives, damage BJP more. And the other hand, we know that the Jat anger has been created the benefits of the Congress.
Okay. Ashish, you're making some very interesting points, which I will, of course, take across to Chetan Chauhan, our national editor, who's also joining us this morning. Kishore Subramaniam is also political analyst joining us this morning as well. Thank you so much, sir, for tuning in with us at the moment. We were just analyzing the Haryana results, and one of the points that Chetan made, which is interesting, because I'll just rattle off those numbers. He pointed out to the fact that, of course, as predicted, it appears that the Congress is sweeping as far as Haryana is concerned, but not sweeping to the extent that they would have hoped, really, because the BJP hasn't performed as badly. Because if I look at the numbers right now, APP is giving the BJP in Haryana 42 and 40 to the Congress. So here it's interesting. The Congress is lagging behind the BJP. India Today says the BJP stands at 42 and the Congress at 44, just two more than the Bharatiya Janata Party is what the Congress has at the moment. News 18, for instance, also has similar numbers. If I'm looking at them right now, what they're saying is BJP stands at 40, Congress at 43. So only marginally behind the Congress. As far as the point that Chetan earlier was making on the show is that the BJP doesn't seem to have performed as badly as many thought it was going to do in Haryana, given the baggage that it was carrying into these assembly elections.
Okay, so if that question is to me, let me give you the quick answer. Yes. First point I would like to mention is that today we have a good news that the EVMs are working. EVMs are working properly, and it seems to, I just tweeted this morning that EVM seems to have a bipolar disorder. It seems to work well when Congress wins, and when BJP sort of slightly gets ahead in the election, the EVM doesn't work. So besides that point, the point is that there is a huge anti-incumbency. And one point which many people are missing in this election is that, you know, as far as the BJP's communication is concerned, I think there is a huge problem. The perception management of BJP has failed massively, whether it is the farmers' agitation, whether it is the Agniveer, whether it is anti-incumbency, even you take the Vinesh Fogart case, perception management when the protests were happening has been very, very pathetic. And that is one of the fundamental reasons I believe BJP is failing. If at all it is closer than what it is predicted, BJP should count itself lucky, because the amount of anti-incumbency that is working and the number of issues in which they have failed in communicating despite good work done, whether it is nationally or at the local level. Remember that India does not cast its vote, but votes its caste. So it is very, very important. And you also understand that for the last 1.5 years, Congress has been dominating the narrative with Jati, with the caste census and stuff like that. And there has been no substantial counter narrative provided by the BJP. That's a big failure. Remember, in politics, it is not about GDP, it's not about economics, it's not about just pure numbers and work. It is also about perception management, because people vote on issues, narratives, and emotion. And when you look at the lower caste, as the other gentleman was saying about the inflation, despite inflation, look at inflation at a national level. The CPI is at an all-time low. The food inflation has come from 9.5% to 5.6%. And we are having probably the best controlled inflation among the emerging markets or even globally. But despite that, what does the poor man on the street say? Mehengai badh rahi hai. They are not able to understand. This is where communication has big time failed. And also, when you coexist with bad perception management, specifically on the farmer agitation, on the Vinesh Fogart issue, the way things were dealt, and communication is a problem. I simply think BJP is losing this election. Whether it's going to be a small margin or large margin, or whether exit polls are going to fail or not, I'm not sure. But one thing is for sure: if you continue such communication skills, you're going to fail in more states than expected, despite whatever good work you do, and despite bringing India from a fragile 5 to a top 5. Despite that, you will lose. And the most important part, one thing you should remember, is that Modi single-handedly cannot win you elections continuously. It cannot be a non-stop barrage. You need local leaders at the ground level managing perception, and the spokesperson of BJP at national level television commentary has to clarify. Take the case of Agniveer. Agniveer was a very, very good scheme. But look at the way it has been communicated. It seems that the people who are joining that scheme are actually losing career opportunities. If something goes wrong with their life, they're not going to get adequately compensated. And probably it is a very weak and a bad version of the normal army recruitment. That's the kind of perception that's got it. And I would purely blame BJP for ensuring that this communication is not clarified at a local level, at a panchayat level, at an MLA level, at a constituency level, that people get it clearly. So the caste economics are going to work. The perception management is working against you. Anti-incumbency is there after 10 years. And despite this Mehengai business, along with the caste, will work against BJP.
Well, by the end of the day, we'll have to see who exactly has to do course correction and who exactly will have to do some introspection. Because as far as the Election Commission is concerned, it's turning out to be, a surprise out there in Haryana. BJP stands at 38 and the Congress at 31 is what the Election Commission is saying at the moment. It's turning neck to neck. Again, I'm looking at the numbers just to see how this is turning out to be another cliffhanger. We thought this was done and dusted earlier this morning, viewers. Not so at the moment. If I look at the numbers on the website, as far as News 18 is concerned, BJP is at 46 and the Congress is at 37. Congress far behind the Bharatiya Janata Party as I'm speaking to you right now. On the India Today website, Congress at 41, BJP 46. BJP is leading in Haryana right now. Is Haryana going to spring a surprise as far as, commentators, analysts who thought that this was all done and dusted, but doesn't seem likely at the moment. On the ABP website, if I'm looking at it, right now, the BJP is at 46 and the Congress is at 37. What's going on, Chetan? It's turning the other way around.
Yeah, no, this is, if you see how the votes are counted in India, mostly urban areas, in the rural constituency also, the small townships, their votes are taken first. So I don't believe that the numbers which have been projected now will hold for long.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm sure that it will be a very close contest. Uh, what the posters have been saying, that writing of BJP, that there is a Congress tsunami, nothing like that is going to happen in Haryana.
Mhm.
It will be a much closer contest for me.
Mhm.
From the trends, it appears the Congress will form the government. It will clear a majority mark. But the early trends and the numbers clearly show that the BJP is doing much, much better
Yeah.
than anybody thought. Its ground management of the elections was much better than the Congress. The Congress, the infighting, the ground level work was not there. Their campaign was totally dependent on Bhinder Singh Hooda and his son. Other senior Congress leaders did not campaign. Randeep Surjewala was only campaigning in mostly in Kathal and nearby areas.
Mhm.
Kathal, his son is contesting. Kumari Shelja only started campaigning, I think, at the later part of September. She was sulking for a long time.
Mhm.
So the Congress disarray in Haryana was visible, and it is another example of how the Congress, from a winning position, makes an election a close election or loses. If in case the Congress loses Haryana, I
Who
think
would be held responsible?
it is the Congress party, the Congress leadership in the state, and the Congress giving away the entire campaign to one leader that you do it. So the Congress not being able to bring all the leaders together to prevent infighting and ensuring that every leader has some sort of a stake in this assembly election. So the failure will be, to me, of the Congress leadership, and they will not able to gauge the ground sentiment also,
What
because
would, I mean,
Hooda has
if
been.
the numbers don't hold, what would be that one key factor that you would say this is why Congress lost?
I think Hooda was the chief minister for 10 years.
Mm.
Again, projecting him in the eyes of people that he will be the chief minister again. So his 10 years was not brilliant 10 years. The Beach Congress lost a huge number in 2014. The BJP emerged as a party from the blue. Uh, so the fear of Hooda being a CM again could be a one factor which would have resulted in downslide for the Congress. Even if they get 47, 48, 49, it can be one of the factors that the people perceive that the old Hooda government, old style of governance will return back to Haryana. And then the people thought that, okay, we should opt for BJP. The swing voter may not have gone with the Congress, fearing the same sort of regime will
So
come
they
back.
shouldn't have projected a face at all.
They didn't project a face, but the
They did,
perception
but
went.
yes,
The
but
perception was that Hooda is will be the chief minister. So because within Haryana, the Congress leaders for the last 3-4 years have been trying to project that except Hooda, there is no other Congress leader. So within the party also, the way they gave everything to Hooda, from state president who is also Hooda's man, to district bodies who are full of people close to Hooda. So that sort of a perception got built within the cadre, within the people, that if Congress comes to power, Bhupinder Singh Hooda will be the chief minister.
Right. I mean, if these numbers are to hold, of course, Chetan is saying that no, it's too early to call it. At the moment, it would still be the Congress which could have a slim majority in the Haryana Legislative Assembly. But if these numbers are to hold, I think a lot of people will possibly have to shut shop, because the exit poll predictions
Totally went
and
wrong then.
everyone would have got
totally
it
went
wrong
wrong.
completely.
Totally
completely.
went
Look at the
wrong.
numbers over there on your screens right now. That's from the Election Commission. So the most authentic website that would tell you where things stand at the moment in Haryana. BJP
But if
38,
you see
Congress
election, I went to
31.
Election Commission website. If you see the number of votes counted, it will not be more than 10% of the total votes polled.
Yeah.
So 90% of the votes are still to be counted as per the EC website.
Right. So there's still a long way to go. So we're not calling it. Nobody is calling it at the moment. But yes, it seems to have turned things around at the moment. Mr. Subramaniam, how would you, of course, look at this switch in numbers, if you may? BJP and Congress's position, Congress and BJP's position, as opposed to what was the status in the morning.
Yeah, I would like your viewers to remember June 4th. I was on a lot of channels, and at 9 o'clock, many of the channels did call it. They called it for BJP on June 4th with a single party majority, and they were in fact predicting 310, 320. So it swung by 11:30, 12. It was almost a hung assembly and it was a slim margin. So again, one more important thing here to be noted is that exit polls are getting it wrong. So we need to get into the scientific methodology of exit polls. If these numbers hold up, as Mr. Chauhan said, very valid point is that only 10% of the votes as per the ECI is counted. So 90% yet to go. So there is a huge margin. We should not forget 2015 Bihar. We should not forget 2024, how it happened after early trends. Because now it's only 1.5 hours. What is important to remember that if this trend continues for the next 1.5, 2 hours, after 35% of the votes are counted, then the exit polls are getting it wrong. And if exit polls this time gets it wrong, believe you me, it will be questioned on its scientific process. And there will be many more people who will have to cry on the TV, because it's not about an individual or an organization. It is about the process, because getting that so grossly wrong, because what was predicted, if I heard the exit pollsters yesterday, there were people giving Congress numbers north of 55, closer to even 60. Now today you're talking about a neck to neck. Now even assume if Congress forms the government and it's 47-48 and a close tie, then still I would say the exit polls have got it wrong by 30-40%. So that's very, very important to note, because then our trust on these numbers and the scientific methodology in terms of hearing the ground sentiment is going to be very different. And a very interesting observation made by Mr. Chauhan is that, Congress has somehow got this art of making a winning election into a losing one. Because to be very honest, whatever little we could hear, because I'm not there on the ground, so to be honestly saying that I know what's there going on the ground would be unfair. But whatever we have been hearing and reading and seeing, it felt it was definitely Congress domination and anti-incumbency working, more so after the protest, the farmer stuff, the Vinesh Fogart, the Bridge Bhushan issue, the Olympics, and many, many things. But if this battle of Haryana goes to BJP, there will be egg on face for a lot of people. And I think we need to wait for another hour and a half till about 30-35% is counted, by which we can almost call the election. As far as ECI is concerned, as I see it now on my mobile, Congress is trailing and BJP is leading currently.
Yeah, that's exactly what the ECI website will tell you at the moment, that positions seem to have switched to us from earlier this morning. Again, too early to call as well, because we'll have to wait and see. It will take a couple of hours before we start getting a definite sense of where the election is headed. But at the moment, it appears that BJP is in pole position in Haryana, and the Congress seems to be trailing. A huge shock there, surely, for the Congress party, because every exit poll predicted that the Congress was comfortably poised to form government in Haryana after 10 years. And Bhupinder Hooda was already, out there speaking to the media, telling them how the BJP had got it wrong. But did the BJP get it wrong, really? Because the numbers show that the BJP may have done something right eventually, which still got it the vote of for the people and the people's trust. What possibly, it's like Mr. Subramaniam was saying, Chitan, that the issues were served on a platter to the Congress party. The anti-incumbency was there. The BJP sensed it. The BJP changed their chief minister in March earlier this year. Naib Singh Saini went all out in terms of trying to appease the people, Agniveers, job guarantees, all of that. And it seemed like the stage had been set for the Congress, but the BJP somehow coming from behind has got to the front.
The BJP's whole strategy in Haryana for the long has been one: anti-Jat polarization.
Yeah.
And get some Dalit votes, OBC votes, and Punjabi votes. People perceive that Haryana is a Jat-dominated state. No, it is not. Jats are slightly above Dalits, at 20% Dalits in Haryana, 20 to 24% Jats. OBCs also constitute a good number, 35 to 40%. And there's also Punjabi population in the GT road belt. So if these numbers continue to hold, we'll see, to me, that the Jat polarization, anti-Jat polarization, has really helped the BJP. The OBC votes have really gone to the BJP. The Congress didn't do anything to counter the BJP strategy of anti-Jat polarization and getting the votes. They were totally dependent on Jat votes and the Dalit votes, uh, plus Muslim, and they thought Dalit plus Jat plus Muslim will fetch them about 45 to 47% votes, and that will be enough to win Haryana. But it appears from this that the Dalit votes has not gone to Congress in the numbers they wanted. Plus, they have not been able to break into the OBC, Punjabi, or vote bank of the BJP. And I think that the governance of the BJP for the 10 years, on some issues, they had a positive hand, especially on the law and order. In Haryana, in large parts, the law and order had improved. The perception that the government jobs were given without any corruption. There was no corruption scam against any of the BJP leaders, major ones in the last 10 years. So the cleaner governance was also something positive, and four-step delivery of services was also which helped the BJP in Haryana to some extent. Uh, but there were a lot of anti-incumbency, especially among the rural folks in Haryana, on the MSP. Like the paddy season, the harvest is on. In many places, the paddy which has moisture because of the rains has not been procured by the government. So on ground, there were issues, especially among the farming community in Haryana. But Haryana, because Jats are a dominant farming community, so their voice appears to overcome the voices of other farming communities like Dalits, maybe Sainis, Malis. They are also the farming communities in Haryana. So in the Jat belt of Hisar, I was seeing the numbers like in the Jat belt also, the BJP is done really well. They were leading in 3 of the 4 seats in Hisar. Bhiwani also, their numbers, they had really done well. But for a caution, like in Hisar, Bhiwani, the town votes are counted first. The village votes are counted later. So the things may change in the coming hours. That is my caution as of now, which is extremely important for a state like Haryana, where 80 to 85% votes are in rural belt.
Right.
But one thing one has to see, if even in the towns, in the villages, the BJP is getting this number, this sort of a support, that the Congress strategy was not up to the mark. The Congress was not able to take benefit of the huge anti-incumbency against the government, especially in rural areas. One issue, the farm agitation. Large number of people for Haryana participated in the farm agitation. The way the central government and the Haryana government dealt with that, there was a lot of anger among the farming community over that. So the Congress, it appears, has not benefited, has not been able to take these issues to the ground. Even its manifesto, it's the promises. I don't think they were able to convince the people that their promises are better than BJP, because the BJP manifesto came after the Congress manifesto. They almost matched the promises made by Congress in their manifesto. So the Congress did not have anything much to say on the manifesto, and they did not even improvise on their promises after the BJP manifesto, thinking that they are coming to power.
Right, right. It's very interesting. Of course, there's a lot of introspection that the Congress will have to do. Bhupinder Hooda, of course, continues to be extremely confident that the Congress will emerge victorious by the end of the day. But what will be that margin of victory? Will it be a slim majority? The BJP clearly seems to be in the game as far as Haryana is concerned. Let's just take you through some of the constituencies and how the parties and their contestants are faring. If I look at, for instance, the constituency of Ladwa, from where Naib Singh Saini is contesting at the moment. Remember, you can go to the Hindustan Times website. We have a constituency tracker over there for both Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir, and you can just key in the name of the assembly constituency and you will know who's leading. At the moment, of course, Naib Singh Saini, who is the incumbent chief minister on a BJP ticket, he is leading from the constituency, and the last time around, of course, the Congress had won that constituency. Let's look at Gadi Sampla as well, which is from where Bhupinder Hooda is contesting. Bhupinder Hooda is leading in the constituency of Gadi Sampla Kiloi. We can look at Hisar, because Chetan was just mentioning Hisar. Savitri Jindal is an independent candidate, and she is at the moment leading from that constituency. Let's go to Vinesh Fogart's constituency from where she is contesting. That, of course, is Julana. And if I key in Julana, it says that Vinesh is leading at the moment. Remember, it was won the last time round by the JJP candidate Amarjeet Thanda, who, of course, is seeking re-election from the very same constituency. Now, let's look at Uchana Kalan, which is from where Dushyant Chautala is contesting at the moment. And it appears Vijender Singh of the Congress is leading from Uchana Kalan. Earlier, one of our guests, Ashish, was mentioning about regional parties.
No, Vijender Singh
Yeah.
is from the family of Sarchupuram.
Right.
His father was the union minister also. His father switched to the BJP,
Mhm.
was the agriculture minister. Then he joined back the Congress recently. So traditionally, it has been the seat of the family. His
Mhm.
mother was an MLA 4 to 5 times from here. So it has been a traditional seat. And Dushyant Chautala, the Chautala family has also been winning it alternatively with INLD, has been alternative winning in Congress. But this was a seat where the close contest was there. But in Haryana, JJP INLD's poor performance is also a reason for BJP to do well.
Okay. Right. That's an interesting point that you're making. Does this also mean that, again, I'm looking at Dabwali, which is from where Digvijay Singh Chautala is contesting Dushyant's brother, and clearly it's the Congress which is leading. Amit Sehag of the Congress party, which is leading over there. So both brothers not doing so very well at the moment. Does this put a question mark over the existence of these smaller regional parties, INLD, JJP,
No.
these elections?
For a party like INLD, JJP was a breakup. The JJP would have really done well if they wouldn't have gone with the BJP. In last election in 2019, JJP got a vote against BJP.
Right.
And they joining BJP, the people thought they had been cheated. So this time in Lok Sabha election, and this time the people have taught a lesson to JJP that we voted against BJP for you. You didn't want to go to Congress. We voted for you. I gave you a good number of seats. We joined the BJP. That's why the decimation happened. INLD, these numbers, because the leadership of the INLD has not been very strong on the ground, this number have really gone down. So I think 2 or 3 seats INLD may be leading as of now. So now the Jat votes are consolidated behind Congress. The shift in the last 10 years, what has happened, in 2014, you would see that INLD really did well. It got a 10 to 12% vote share in 2014. But now the numbers have come down for INLD, the Devilal's family. And if you see the 4 or 5 people who are contesting, most of them are not doing well. So the Jat vote has shifted. So the bipolar contest, in a way, is helping the BJP also in that way.
Right.
But if INLD would have done well, JJP would have done well, then the numbers for the Congress may have been lesser.
As far as Kathal is concerned, from where Aditya Surjewala is contesting, the BJP seems to be leading. Leela Ram of the BJP is leading from a Kathal constituency.
Well,
as well.
Kathal, I can show. I covered assembly in the last elections. Leela Ram won by a slender margin of 1,400 votes last time. So in the Kathal town, the BJP has a good number of votes. It's a decent big town. So from there, I think the Kathal town votes have been counted. When the rural votes will be counted, the scenario will be different. But it will be a close election. It will not be a walkover for Surjewala family.
Okay. Mr. Subramaniam, do you agree with the point that Chetan Chauhan just made about how the BJP seems to gain? Possibly his understanding is that the BJP may have gained off the back of the decimation of regional parties like JJP and INLD.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, because in a multi-party contest, it's very important that the regional party, if they contribute, then it makes a huge difference. But I still hold on to my fundamental point that whatever gain Congress could have made, because the initial trends are now reversing. As I'm seeing, even the chief minister is currently leading by 732 votes. So now what is going to happen is that if the initial trends reverse in the next 1.5 hours, by which probably every channel or pollster can actually call this election, I think Congress has lost an opportunity here. And probably BJP also should realize that even if it wins this election, it has to change its perception management and communication. I strongly believe at a national level, at a state level, the communication management and perception management of BJP has been a big failure. Despite the fact that one point which Mr. Chauhan said, I fully agree that at the ground level, there is a very, very clear understanding that a corruption-free government job has been allocated. The overall party management of system has been very corruption-free and it is pro-growth. But also remember, there is one factor which I don't remember some of them mentioning here, but the anti-Jat, the Congress was completely dependent on the Jat vote. That was, I think, a very big problem because with the Jat and Dalit combo, they thought that they would be able to clean sweep this election, and that is not happening here. So definitely, it's kudos to BJP if they are able to swing this, but it is too early to call at this point of time. But I believe that exit poll has got it big time wrong. The way it is going neck to neck now, and as per ECI now, BJP is still leading and Congress is trailing by maybe 3 or 4 seats, but I still think it's going to be neck to neck. But Congress has failed to capitalize on a lot of perception issues they were served on a platter by BJP, which they could have taken the BJP to the cleaners in this election if you purely talk from a political point of view.
Right. I'd request all of our guests to continue to be with us. Ramesh Vinayak, our Chandigarh bureau head, is also joining us at the moment. Let's quickly play out what Anil Vij, who's contesting from Ambala Cant, has to say.
कांग्रेस वालों को भी बताओ ना कि बीजेपी आगे चल रही है, और वो इसीलिए तो नहीं नाचे क्योंकि कांग्रेस के अंदर भी बहुत सारे लोग चाहते थे कि भूपेंद्र सिंह हुड्डा हारे, बहुत सारे लोग चाहते थे, हो सकता है वही नाच रहे हो। और अभी राहुल गांधी जी उठे नहीं हैं, अब उठेंगे, जलेबियों की फैक्ट्री को खोलेंगे, फिर चिमनियों में से धुआं निकलेगा, फिर मशीन चलेगी, फिर लेबर आएगी, फिर आगे जाके देखते हैं जलेबी की जगह आज क्या निकलता है।
सर, आप अपने आप को टफ कंपटीशन किसको समझते हैं, चित्रा को या परिपाल को?
नहीं, देखिए जो कांग्रेस का जो कांग्रेस के ऑफिशियल कैंडिडेट थे, उनकी और नकली कांग्रेस की चुनाव से 3 दिन पहले यहाँ के गांव है बड़ा, उसमें खूब मार पिटाई हुई थी। उसके बाद से वो ये एलिमेंट को देखकर वो जो असली कांग्रेस वाला था वो थोड़ा सा सुस्त हो गया। देखते क्या असर पड़ता चुनाव पे।
सर, आपको कोई टेंशन स्ट्रेस हो रहा है कि जीतेंगे?
मैं तो कोई टेंशन लेता नहीं, मैंने अपना काम कर दिया। अब जनता की मर्जी है, जनता जो करेगी उसको मैं तो सिर माथे पर लेता हूँ। मैं एक बार चुनाव हारा था और कांग्रेस का जुलूस निकल रहा था और मैं तो बाजार में बैठ के आनंद ले रहा था, चाय पी रहा था।
सीएम पद के लिए क्या कहेंगे?
वो हाईकमान अगर चाहेगी तो बिल्कुल बनेंगे।
थैंक यू।
तो कांग्रेस वालों को भी बताओ ना कि बीजेपी आगे चल रही है, और वो इसीलिए तो नहीं नाचे क्योंकि कांग्रेस के अंदर भी बहुत सारे लोग चाहते थे कि भूपेंद्र सिंह हुड्डा हारे, बहुत सारे लोग चाहते थे, हो सकता है वही नाच रहे हो। और अभी राहुल गांधी जी उठे नहीं हैं, अब उठेंगे, जलेबियों की फैक्ट्री।
So that is, of course, veteran BJP leader Anil Vij continuing to be his outspoken self, possibly hoping that if the BJP were to spring a surprise on the Congress in these assembly elections, he'd be number one as far as CM hopefuls are concerned. Ramesh Vinayak is also joining us at the moment from the Chandigarh bureau. How do you see the results as they're trickling in? The trends, they seem to have done a complete U-turn from what we were looking at this morning to what we're looking at right now. The BJP now in pole position in Haryana.
Well, good morning. What I can see from initial trend, the BJP is certainly dodging their anti-incumbency of 2 terms, And secondly, I think the Congress calculation that it will be able to gain, much from Jat vote bank and OBC vote bank, it doesn't seem to be working out. Third factor which I am seeing at the moment is that independents, as well as the smaller party like JJP, INLD, seem to be hurting Congress more than the BJP. So I see these 3 broad trends, and BJP seems to have kind of, retained its hold on non-Jat Punjabi, vote bank, which has been, I would say, major support base of BJP's victory in 2014 and 2019. So, this is what I can say at the moment.
Okay. Let's just take you through some of the other constituencies. Ramesh, we were talking about regional parties at the moment as well. Earlier Chetan Chauhan was with us as well, and we were talking about the future of the INLD and the JJP as well. Speaking of INLD, I'm looking at our constituency tracker on the Hindustan Times website right now. I'm taking you to Elanabad right now, from where, in fact, Abhay Singh Chautala is contesting, and he's trailing at the moment. Bharat Singh Beniwal of the Congress party is leading at the moment. Let's see how his son Arjun is doing at the moment. He, of course, is contesting from Rania constituency. He, of course, maybe some amount of joy there for the family, because he seems to be doing well. He's leading at the moment. But your sense, Ramesh, of regional parties, because Chetan's sense earlier was that the decimation or the bad performance, so to say, of JJP, INLD, regional parties like that may have benefited the BJP in these assembly elections.
Well, definitely, I would say this is sunset for INLD, which has been losing elections since 2004. They have been, out of power, and their, political graph has been on the decline. This JJP, which emerged out of, the parent party of Indian National Lok Dal, which was founded by Chaudhry Devi Lal, they did, flicker and did reasonably well in the last election, winning, 9-10 seats, and they were able to, form a coalition government with the BJP. But this time, we are seeing that, a complete meltdown of, INLD and its subsidiary, political outfit of JJP led by Dushyant Chautala. So what is clear is that Haryana politics seems to have become bipolar, and BJP, which was a fringe player before 2014, is now, one of the major players, rather than one of the two players in the Haryana election. So it's a bipolar election, in a different sense that, unlike, times we have seen before 2004, when INLD used to be the major player vis-a-vis Congress and BJP was on the fringes. Now, the wheel of fortune has turned in favor of BJP, and it is, a very well-established second pole in Haryana politics, and, INLD, JJP have, I would say, just kind of, disappeared from the scene.
What about the BJP and its leadership in Haryana? Because some of the experts, Ramesh, who were speaking with us earlier before this, have the sense that as far as the leadership and the goings on within Haryana BJP are concerned, it is more centralized. It is more Delhi-centric. There aren't many leaders per se within